Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to We Drink and We Watch Things. I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Lemar.
And we are in the water.
In a pool.
Live.
But we've had this problem before where because this is not a visual medium, I feel like people are going to have trouble believing that we're in the water. So
I know. So water
splash. Okay, so you can hear this. I'm trying not to splash the microphones, but yes, we are in a pool. For what, Mackenzie? What are we doing today?
We are doing our own take on Jaws on the Water, inspired by our beloved Alamo Drafthouse, who used to do this every summer. But weirdly, this summer, we decided we wanted to pod this. They did not do this, so we're doing our own. Shout out to my good friend Stormy, who loaned us her pool for the occasion. So cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that. And so this is going to be a very special watch-along episode. We've never tried to do this before, but in a couple minutes we're going to hit play on this. So if you want to watch Jaws while you listen to us, or you can just listen to this as a regular episode, we're going to try to keep it interesting throughout the 2-hour runtime of this film and avoid any dead air. We also have Skylar and Janelle with us here, so maybe they'll make some cameos at some point. But Mackenzie, I guess we could just like...
Hi.
I don't know I have no idea what you guys are going to hear from this. There is a brewery with a cover band playing like half a mile from here, and so this might be the worst or the best episode we've ever done, but we're going to
find out
new things. So I think what we're going to do, we'll start the movie, and then once the movie starts, we'll get into our drinks and fun facts and cast, and it's going to be a very improvisational day, I believe.
I think so, yeah. So just so you guys know where we're at, we are paused on the Universal screen. So if you are going to do a watch along, think of this as like the director's commentary version of a film, if you've ever done that before, where we're going to just pepper in some goodies as we continue to watch.
Worth calling out, though, that neither one of us directed this film.
We've been saying
director's commentary all day,
but we're pod commentary.
Facts,
I don't know, whatever version of this you want to call it. But all that to say, we're going to get ready to roll here in what? You can count us down.
Okay, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1.
Play.
All right, we are right on the Universal and Murica company.
Murica, MCA, Murica.
Oh, the guy from the Beastie Boys. Awesome.
And Janelle and Skylar will make their appearances as not as a cannonball, hopefully. Jeez Louise.
All right.
Again, we may regret this.
So we're going to go through these semi-slow opening credits, but Mackenzie, what are we drinking today? Or does Skylar want to explain what we're drinking today?
Well, I do also slightly want to intro this beverage because this was my request. Obviously, we're watching Jaws, so I thought a shark theme was important. So I specifically requested a drink that was called Blood in the Water because, I don't know, I feel like that's great. And I said I had very specific parameters, did I not? I wanted a blue cocktail. I was very type A about it, which is not surprising. I wanted a blue cocktail where we could pour grenadine into it and have it be blood in the water. So that's exactly what you did. But do you want to tell the people what's in it? Because you really designed it from there.
Well, so we started with a little citrus gin, a little Malfi. It's a Mediterranean gin, lemon flavored. There's a little ginger syrup in there. Then we made a hot honey syrup. Shout out to Hot Honey.
Mike's Hot Honey specifically.
Sponsor us.
Shout out to Mike's Hot Honey. Put it on your fries. Put it in your cocktails. It's delish all around. And then just a little simple syrup in there and a little lime and lemon juice.
Yeah.
And it's very tasty.
It is very tasty.
It's going down quick and easy.
So cheers all around on that.
I was going to say, group cheers. Group cheers. This is a plastic clink. You guys will see the video later. Yeah. Again, not a visual medium.
We'll add the sound effect of glasses clinking, even though that's not what we're doing.
This is a vibe for sure.
Here. So at this point, we've gotten through the opening credits. We're sitting here around the campfire, and this is where Chrissy is going to run off and go. Yeah, poor Chrissy, going to go for a swim, I think.
Chrissy's going to have a time of it, that's for damn sure. So do we want to call out the basics really quick before we get in the weeds here? Obviously, it's directed by Steven Spielberg, if you didn't already know, who obviously, brilliant director. Done a couple of things. Not much. Just one or two.
Yeah.
One or two films, no big deal.
He's at least on the B list.
Oh, yikes. You're going to get us in trouble on the pod.
No, he's never going to come on as a guest.
I was going to say, we're never going to have Steven Spielberg guest star on the pod.
Close. Yeah. I do like this part where the guy falls down the hill And then tries to get up and take his pants off and just passes out on the beach. Like, we've all been there, right, guys?
Have we all been there? Have we all been there?
I've never been
I love
there.
Janelle and I both are like, have we all been there? I don't feel.
We've been there.
Skylar's like, yep, we've been there. That feels right. That feels like the correct split down the
Hands
group
off on the beach.
for sure.
Okay, let's go around real quick. Like, Spielberg films, because I feel like he's he's so
done fucking
prolific and
everything.
he has so many incredible movies, but
Yeah, like-
sometimes I forget what he has and hasn't done. So let's go around. Favorite Spielberg film?
Yeah.
Well, it's this. So
Jars?
Yours is Jaws.
It is
Yours is
Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Janelle's
Jaws
is
is the number
Jaws.
one.
What about you, Skylar? Do you even know what Spielberg has done? Should we give you a list first?
Home Alone.
I love it. I love it. Skylar's like, I'm a
Home Alone.
cinephile, but I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I mean,
Okay.
excellent movie, but
It is a great movie, but that's not one of his. Not one of his. Okay,
got
so
E.T.
mm-hmm.
Saving Private Ryan might be up there for me. That's
Ooh,
Spielberg, right?
That is a great one.
Yeah.
That is a great one. I think so.
See AI.
Yes, but that was like one of his first that wasn't
Wasn't
beloved.
good.
AI, yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, Chrissy.
Chrissy.
Oh no, Chrissy.
Janelle, do you want to tell people about the actress for Chrissy and how terrible this was? Like,
Well, I don't know the specifics, but I do know that she sustained injuries from this specific scene because she was in some kind of machine that's pulling her all sorts of crazy ways, messed up her spine real bad, and that's why the screaming is so good. The oh God, help me, because she's actually
in pain.
really having a
yeah.
hard time.
I don't remember if she had a lawsuit or not. Like, if she actually got sort of money out of this, because it did f up her spine.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
she did. I think she even spoke because Skylar and I listened to a pod separately of her where she was being interviewed, and I can't remember which podcast it was on, but she was being interviewed about it, and I think she did have like some, at least essentially workman's comp, like for all the issues that she had coming out of this for sure. I think for me growing up, going back to your question about Steven Spielberg, is one, I love everything that he does, and he's a brilliant filmmaker. But I think the thing that I remember resonating with the most at a young age was Indiana Jones. Like, Indiana Jones was my in to Spielberg.
Yeah.
So
Did
I
he
feel
do
like-
all of them, or did he just do the first one and
I
then
think
come
he
back
did
and
all
do?
of them.
Okay.
I
He
think
did Crystal Skull too.
Yeah,
Like the two
he
newer
did.
ones?
He did unfortunately do Crystal Skull, which can we just pretend like that's not in the canon? Like, that's my vote. But I loved the Indiana Jones story, and I love Harrison Ford. Like, anything with him in it, obviously, is brilliant. So, big fan.
We were just talking about The Witness.
Is that a Spielberg movie?
No, but
No,
it's
it's
not
Harrison
Ford.
Ford.
The Witness. Favorite.
He's like, I
Steven
just really like
Spielberg.
The Witness. It's unrelated to Steven Spielberg, but I am a fan. Great,
It's on the Harrison Ford train.
good story. Good story. But wait, so did you like? What is your like? Indiana Jones is him. E.T. is him. Like, what is your Spielberg one?
Star Wars?
Fuck yeah, Star Wars.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, nobody said
Yeah,
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park
Park.
yet.
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park is a classic. Jurassic Park is a good one.
We can also rope in favorite John Williams movies.
Well, John Williams has done like everything. It's John Williams, Hans Zimmer, and there's one other. Basically, three guys have done
Yeah.
every
Ennio
score in
Morricone.
Hollywood.
But
Yeah.
I will say also too, like, this is the thing. So John Williams is the first to say that this film launched his career because he had been doing scores, but he hadn't been doing a lot. But this one is, as we all know, one of the first summer blockbuster movies. Really, the first summer blockbuster movie, I should say. And it really put him on the map with how he scored this film. And he actually, did you know he was directing the orchestra at the Oscars the year he won for this?
I did see that fun
And
fact,
he had to run
not
up, like,
awkward.
accept his Oscar and run back to the orchestra
Yeah,
pit.
but the good news is there was nobody to play him off stage. So
I
he
know,
could just,
right?
like, go-
That
he
is-
went for 40 minutes.
He was like,
that
"Listen,
night.
this is my time to shine, bitches." Yeah, no, but he'll say that this is what launched his career, and
Huh.
I do think, like, Spielberg gave him a lot of crap about the music. Actually, in the Jaws theme song, he was like, "Really, is that
It's
it?"
like too simple.
It's like too simple. He was like, "Is that
I
what?
could
No,
see
really,
that.
what's the theme, bro?" And now it is iconic. It is a iconic music. So
It's like that and like Halloween. It doesn't take a lot to produce sort of a haunting score. You know,
Yeah.
you get 3 piano keys and you can make magic sometimes.
yeah, I think it's brilliant. He does a
What's the
beautiful
main
score.
actor in this again that plays Brody?
I don't know his name. He's just Brody.
He's just, Roy.
Mackenzie's
Isn't
gonna look
that
it up
Roy?
for us. Roy
Isn't it Roy Schneider?
Scheider.
Schneider?
Roy Scheider.
Schneider? Is it Schneider or Schneider? Let's confirm.
I don't think it's Schneider
It's Scheider.
because I think of Rob Schneider.
You're
when
right.
I think of Schneider.
You're right. Yeah, it is Schneider.
But yeah, I didn't realize he passed away in like the late aughts, like 2008. And he didn't do, I mean, a ton of. He did, he was an actor for 30 plus years, but not a lot that I saw aside from Jaws, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what he's most well known for, it's basically this and the original French Connection and all that jazz, which they remade the French Connection, which is actually an incredible remake. And I'm not always a big fan of remakes. But...
I didn't realize you were saying All That Jazz, the movie. I just thought you were saying all his other movies. All That Jazz. The French Connection,
All That Jazz, the movie. Yes,
okay.
Yes. And then the original French Connection he was in. And then he does more of the Jaws. But, he was also in Family Guy.
He played himself. Yeah, he played himself.
Yeah.
And I think that was actually one of his last roles before he passed.
Who's not on Family Guy? I mean, for fuck's sake. Everybody makes
like that
appearance.
in The Simpsons, and Law and Order. We talked about that.
Yeah, and Law and Order for sure. Which also, yes, he was in Law and Order. In case you were curious,
See,
everybody's in it. Did who do the Law?
John Williams?
No.
Did John Williams?
Did John Williams do the Law and Order song?
Dun, dun.
No, he did not. He did not.
Whoever did made a lot of money off of that song.
They did.
All right. So we were
a good old
talking
typewriter.
earlier.
Do y'all remember? Did anybody here type on a typewriter? Fun fact. So, guys, if you're watching at home, we are watching the typewriter scene. Who learned how to type on a typewriter? You? Me too. You?
I didn't learn how to type on a typewriter, but I have typed on a typewriter before. I think I learned on a
Skylar,
computer.
did you learn how to type on a typewriter?
I didn't learn how to type on one, but
You've done it?
well, actually, I don't know. I might have learned to type on a typewriter.
My grandmother taught me on her typewriter. And then, of course, we did have a computer at home, actually, when I got, I don't know, I think I was 7 or 8.
I do remember a
it wasn't
class in elementary school.
Oh, yeah, Mavis Beacon, y'all. Anybody else remember Mavis Beacon?
Mm-mm.
That is who taught me to type. Mavis Beacon Software, guys, taught me to type.
I thought it was
Mavis
a person.
Beacon.
And I was like, how would we have the same teacher? I was in New Jersey, Mackenzie.
No, it's like
it
was like a teaching software that was in a lot of schools. And
you Texans only think the world is Texas.
This is a software, sir. I don't need your attitude, actually.
Is it syndicated?
But literally, oh my God, is it syndicated? Shut up. No, it was. I was so competitive too. I would go. So the thing was the words per minute, and you would go try to beat the software on the words per minute. I've been racing things my whole life, is what you need to know.
I remember doing the keyboarding class.
Oh man,
I do love this cop car. This is the coolest cop car, right? The truck.
it's like an open.
It's an open-air truck. Bronco. I think it's a Bronco, but I can't tell.
The lights on
I haven't
top on
seen it in a
both
minute.
sides. Pretty badass. Yeah.
I love it. I'm like, give me that. That is such a beach truck too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was looking at credits.
Oh my God!
earlier.
Look at his shirt, his blazer. I forgot about his blazer. Did you see all the anchors on his blazer?
No.
Look at his blazer. It's got a bunch of anchors.
Oh, I thought you
He's
said
a nautical town.
He's a nautical town. They are committed to the bit in this town. Which is, by the way, supposed to be Amity, Massachusetts. For those of you watching at home. That's where
Skylar,
we're
is this
supposed
what
to
it
be.
looks like in Massachusetts?
I was gonna say, is
reminding
this-
you of your childhood.
It's a lot sunnier than it really is.
He's like, this is actually a lie. It's definitely not this sunny.
Summer only occurs on July 4th, and everything else is spring and fall.
Oh.
But they are in, I believe, Martha's Vineyard filming this.
They were filming in Martha's Vineyard, but they also had a studio lot that was for part of it. But yeah, they were basing it off of this.
Which it is beautiful.
The Universal
Martha's
Ride.
Vineyard.
Is it sunny in Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah, out there on the Cape. I mean, they get their fair deal of shit.
Did they get all the sun that you don't get up in New Hampshire? Is that what it is?
Well, there's definitely no sun up there where I'm from.
I was looking at the IMDb credits earlier, and I remember seeing that the mayor was in something that I wanted to shout out, but if you don't mind double checking that for me, Mackenzie. I was like, oh shit, that's where I know him from.
What is
But-
he from? Let's see. That's Murray Hamilton, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. He is in The Graduate.
That's
which
he's
makes
Mr. Robinson.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, I saw something. And I
That's
was
true.
Like,
That
yeah.
is him. Holy shit. Man, I haven't seen The Graduate in a minute. That's another
he's
one
not
we
the one
should
the
do.
song is about. It's Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson,
Yeah.
you know. Obby. Always about the lady. Last Days of Patton is also in that. He's also in The Golden Girls, apparently.
Like a single episode or like recurring?
I think he's recurring, but it doesn't look like
Okay.
for long. Looks like a
Okay.
short recurring.
They must have killed off his character. You know how Golden Girls was. Just
Yeah, you
killing
know.
off characters
Nobody
left
was
and
safe in that
Yeah,
show.
this is like the first Game
Can
of
we talk about
Thrones.
how these women were supposed to be in their late 40s, early 50s, and they looked like they were 85? Like,
Insulting.
so rude.
Oh, this kid shouldn't do that. There's a shark around. Don't go in the water. Oh.
Wait, but what I want to know is why does she... Okay, they don't know about the shark yet. So why does she care if he goes back out in the water? This
'Cause
is
he's
what the
getting all
beach is
pruny.
for.
She said he's pruning.
Yeah.
So what? Prune it up, buttercup.
Yeah, it's pruning like
I
that.
spent half my childhood a prune. I was straight up a prune. Like,
Well,
well,
it was
I
like
was fine.
Sitting too close to the TV was bad for your eyes.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff,
bad for your
right?
eyes. Which also I do think was accurate. Okay, Mom, you were right. Sitting too close to screens is bad for your eyes.
Well,
And now we sit in front of screens all day. every
I
day,
know.
so-
That's how I know it's bad. Okay, so wait. Is that the dog? I can't remember. One of the
No,
dogs
the-
is Steven Spielberg's dog.
oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Brody's dog is Steven Spielberg's dog.
Okay.
Oh.
Was Steven Spielberg's dog.
Well,
Sniff, sniff.
This kid's about to die doing what he loves. at
This
least.
shot, is anybody else? This is like such a, to me, that is one of the most memorable shots, and I don't know why.
The zoom in.
The zoom, well, the
Oh, when
zoom in
he
on
first
him when
notices
he's like
the
kicked
shark?
back and he's
Oh.
like seeing it like in the black t-shirt and the glasses. I don't know why. It's one of the big moments I remember from this movie when I first saw it.
I'm thinking more of the zoom that's coming
Yeah.
up when.
No, I
she
just mean
sees
like the
shark.
first,
I
like-
hear you. Yeah.
Like him looking at the water and kind of analyzing
Mhm.
it. That was such a big shot for me to remember.
Looking over the shoulder of, not completely ignoring this poor man. Oh, it's just crazy teenagers.
Mm. There's always a screaming girl on the beach, you know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
easy to ignore.
It's something about the beach. It just brings it out of us. We just gotta scream.
Man,
Janelle's like, I have done this also.
It's calling. I must return.
He looks so, he's like the most anxious guy on the
I was
beach
gonna
right
say,
now.
this
You know
poor
what I mean?
sheriff doesn't
He's
get a day
so
off. He's like, oh, I
stressed.
guess I'm gonna go play lifeguard today.
She's like, can we relax? He's like, no,
Huh?
0% we can relax. It's a swim cap, okay? Don't be a dick about it.
Good for you,
Business
Harry,
hairs.
staying in shape into
Staying in
his golden
shape and
years,
swimming,
yeah.
working out. That's a healthy workout. Jeez. Judgy.
So I didn't do a ton of research today, so I'm just gonna make up fake fun facts for you guys to react to.
Lord. And I'm going to spend the whole episode correcting you. Okay.
So the
Like that kid right there is Brad Pitt.
yeah, that's Brad Pitt's debut. A lot of people think it was like Thelma and Louise or whatever, but no, it's this film.
False. Not him.
Yeah.
Okay, but sidebar, we were talking about how Brad Pitt is like, he can do anything and we love it. He's
I
just
would
the
love to get
most,
eaten by a shark.
right. Like
Yeah.
he could get eaten by a shark and we're going to be like, he is so hot.
Even in
No,
movies
I
where
wanna
he
get
like,
eaten by a shark.
Right, exactly.
even movies where he tries to make himself look ugly, he still
He
looks
literally
attractive.
cannot.
Like monkeys.
He's
like-
just fucking gorgeous man.
Oh no.
Did you see that?
It's
Uh,
shot.
the blood there
That's
is
blood in the
yeah.
That is some blood in the water.
That shot.
This
with, like,
shot,
the-
yep.
Yeah, I don't know what
Blood,
that technique's
blood.
called, but that's fucking awesome. He could
right,
have saved them all right now by going out and fighting the shark.
Just
In
punch the
hand-to-hand
shark
combat,
in
like,
the
yeah.
eyeball.
You want to
Just-
be a hero
yeah.
so bad, go out there and fight the shark.
Oh.
I didn't realize that that's what that kid was saying. Now that we have subtitles on.
What did he say?
Michael, get out of the water.
Oh.
It's an extra element of sad.
Yeah. My boy, my boy. I've betrayed my boy.
I've abandoned my child.
That's what it is. I've abandoned my boy.
Crossover. There will be blood.
Yeah.
In the water.
In the water. Oh my God. Okay, $3,000 bounty to the man or men. Ugh, sexist. Where are the women who can kill this shark?
If you're a woman, you don't get paid.
You don't get paid if you're a woman. It's a man or men. Fucking assholes. Also, we don't need to kill more sharks. Don't even get me started.
I mean, this one kind of has to go, though.
Okay, maybe this one, but geez, on the whole, they're not bad.
Yeah.
The disparity is real. Like, we kill
so
100
many
million
more
sharks
sharks.
a year, and sharks kill 6 people a year.
And didn't that go up, like, after this film came out, there was a
It
disproportionate
went up,
amount
so
of people killing
how much
sharks
we
because
killed
of that.
sharks,
Yeah.
yes, went up dramatically. And actually, the author, what's his name? Bleachy? What's his last name? The author of the book that inspired the film said he deeply regretted having written the shark as the villain because he felt responsible. And he actually turned into like a shark conservationist after the fact.
I mean, by all means, if he wants to make one where the shark is the hero and it's like all internal narrative.
Jaws
like,
5.
I'm really hungry today.
Benchley. Peter Benchley. That's who it was.
I don't want to hurt anyone.
And actually, Spielberg felt bad too because he was like, "This was
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to."
Why am I finding shark on the menu at every Michelin star restaurant I go to?
I feel actually pretty
Is
bad.
that actually a thing?
It
Like
actually
shark on the menu?
shark can be
Yeah,
on a
you'll see
menu.
Shark on menus.
I don't think I've ever eaten shark.
I have, and I was young when I did, and it was. I am ashamed to say very good, but I felt really bad afterward when I found out how bad we were at, how unsustainably we killed sharks. Yeah, it was really bad. But they make shark steak, kind of like swordfish steak. They'll make shark steak.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on Open Table right now browsing for reservations. Shark restaurants. So I take
I
back.
know I shouldn't want to, but I am curious now.
It is
I
good.
wanna
It's
know what
if
shark
we did it
tastes like.
sustainably, maybe I would feel
Yeah.
okay eating it again because I remember it being very good. But we don't, especially in like Asia and Japan specifically. They like cut off the fins. It's really bad.
Oh, right, for the soup.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of rabbling in this.
I was gonna say,
I forgot about this.
fucking assholes!
That might be the scariest. part of the
Literal
film.
nails on a chalkboard, guys. If
Mhm.
you're watching along, that's what's happening, and everyone present just cringed real hard.
And then this alcoholic shows up and just starts babbling nonsense. What's this actor's
Starts
name?
Talking about doll's eyes. Who cares?
Who plays Quint?
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw.
He is an actual alcoholic. Is the problem?
Well, he was an actual alcoholic.
Right, he was.
Died like 2 years after this came out, which is bonkers because he looks so young here.
I don't know what his cause of death was, but he was a deep alcoholic. So I would not be surprised if that was part of it.
So he's doing like whatever the opposite of character acting is, where it's just like, this is what I am, so I'm just gonna play this role.
Well, it's
Like,
funny,
It's like I don't have to fake shit.
It's funny. He actually did. There is a scene where he's supposed to be inebriated, the character, and he did it drunk, and it was so bad. Like they couldn't use any of the takes. Everyone was upset with him. Spielberg too, etc. We'll get there. But then he called and apologized to Spielberg and was like, "Give me another shot," and he did it the next day in one take.
Oh, okay.
But he was sober when he did it.
Hmm.
But yeah, he had an ongoing drinking problem. It's part of why he and Richard Dreyfuss didn't get along. They had just had a fight about his drinking on set at the time. And he said, I wish I could stop drinking. And Richard Dreyfuss grabbed his drink and threw it in the water.
Which always works out well with alcoholics.
Which I think works out great for alcoholics, exactly. But I'm also like, I just love that reaction though of like, okay, grabs it, throws it away.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yes, their relationship then was a bit acrimonious after that.
So it turns out the shark wasn't the real villain. It was alcoholism.
It was alcoholism all along. Exactly. No swimming, hazardous area, beach closed. So fun fact, if you live in the Texas area, they're doing this on our coastline right now. They are warning of shark attacks, which again, are pretty rare. And in I think it's South Padre right now, they're warning of a lot of shark attacks at the moment.
That they're happening, or that they're just warning
Of possible shark attacks.
Okay.
They haven't happened yet.
Well, so I was telling Skylar this story earlier, but I was in Florida about a month ago, and we went down to the beach, got a hotel for one night, and I woke up early the following morning and was like, I'm going to be so fit. It's 6 a.m. I'm going to go for a morning swim in the ocean.
Oh, look at you.
And walked down there, and the first thing was it was kind of chilly. It was 6 a.m., and I was kind of didn't want to go in the water. But my second thought was when I looked up and down the beach, there was no lifeguard because it was so early. There was no one else in the water. There were a handful of people walking. But I was like, hypothetically, if a shark does come nearby here, I'm the only thing in the water, and there's no one around to save me. So I didn't go swimming, and then like a week and a half later, I came back to Texas, and I was talking to my mom, and she's like, did you hear about the shark attacks? I went, what shark attacks? There were 3 shark attacks within 45 minutes of where I was swimming, like a few miles, like, you know, a couple, like dozen miles in each direction. But maybe that's why they're warning in South Padre, because there were 3 shark attacks in Florida, you know?
Interesting. I feel like they'll mostly leave you alone, though. Again, like, just don't fuck with them. They won't fuck with you.
I don't think that's how it works.
I feel like it is. Just
like...
leave them alone. Also, like, we're usually pretty close to the shore, and they actually don't tend to go close to shore.
Well, that's the thing. The odds are very low. That's not to say that it's not going to happen.
They don't tend to attack humans, but they do.
Sometimes. Yeah.
They're just trying to figure out what you are.
$6 a year feels like a reasonable toll to pay after
they can't touch
100 million.
They can't like hold something and be like, "What is this?" So they bite it, and then they're like, "Oh, that's food."
That's not a seal.
I feel like I remember learning that from Shark Week.
What did you learn from Shark Week? I'm sorry, I missed it.
That's when sharks bite you, they're not always like trying to eat you. They're just trying to figure out what you are.
Yeah.
Because they can't, you know, use hands to hold things.
They don't have great eyes.
Yeah.
They
just
actually.
like, what's this all about?
They don't have great eyes, and they don't really have a good sense of smell, as far as I recall.
Well, especially if you're like in a wetsuit and you really look like a seal.
Yeah. Just don't look or sound like a seal.
Don't look or sound like a seal.
Yeah.
Don't go like
4. Wait, so that was going to be my follow-up question. Who has the best seal noise?
Oh my god! I think we just found out it's Lemar and Janelle combined.
Don't like clap at any point.
Don't
do this because
don't
they're
balance a ball on your nose.
For sure. Well, yeah, and wear
taking
bright
away
colors. No
taking
grays,
away-
no blacks. Wear bright colors. Yeah.
I was semi-laugh, and I felt kind of bad, but I was laughing earlier when I was looking at the IMDb sort of cast and their histories that Ellen, the actress that plays Ellen Brody, is the only one that's in like almost all the Jaws sequels. Like she's the only one they could get to come back, and I kind of felt bad for her there, but I also was kind of laughing about it. Of just, oh, this poor woman.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but people die in this movie. Can't about that.
Well, I mean, but Chief Brody or Richard Dreyfuss's character, Hooper, you know.
Hooper.
I do feel like it gives its spoilers away with its title. I think we all know some shit's gonna go down with a title like Jaws. Those shots, so they just showed all the shots of like the attack and the shark attack on the body. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. All those close-up shots. So, fun fact, the original story is based off an actual shark attack that took place on the Atlantic coast in 1916. And those shots are very similar to the actual injuries that the guy had. Where it's like through his side.
But those were faked pictures?
Those were fake pictures. Okay. I just mean it's based off the guy his leg was nearly torn off, and then his side of his body was like nearly like ripped out. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
And it was same thing. It was very rare. It was relatively unprompted, but this shark like definitely attacked him when he just went for a swim. But those shots look very similar to his injuries.
Got it. I always forget about this part of the movie on rewatch, that the shark has this vendetta against these guys hunting it.
This is a very Moby Dick vibe.
It is,
yeah. It is like Moby Dick had a vendetta, and this is not, this is not typical of sharks, obviously. But, Spielberg actually wanted to show one of the main scenes that he wanted to happen. I believe he wanted it to be the opening scene, if I recall, was of them in the theater watching the movie Moby Dick.
Okay.
But Gregory Peck, the actor, owned the rights, part of the rights to that film, and wouldn't give him the rights to do it. He actually thought the scene setup was really good because in that movie, the whale comes out of the water and scares everybody, and he wanted everybody to slowly trickle out of the theater, and it's just him alone, Brody alone in the theater. And Gregory Peck loved the setup and thought that would be really cool, but he hated his own performance in Moby Dick, and he said, "I would totally give you the rights, but I don't actually want anybody to ever see this movie again, so no thank you," and would not give him the rights to do it. It's wild.
Oh, here's Richard Dreyfuss.
There he is. Welcome to the show, sir.
I think he's another Family Guy alum at this point, right?
Oh,
Isn't he
yeah,
also
for
on
sure,
Family Guy?
for sure. But also, this is like the youngest you ever see him. I mean, he looks the youngest in this movie, and he never looks this young again.
Yeah.
And I mean, almost immediately after this, he's working a lot. I'm not saying he's not, but this is the youngest he ever looks.
Hasn't he, recently been in the news for, being kind of a dick or, I could have sworn I could have sworn in the last, 3 weeks there was something that came out about him.
Ugh, I don't want to know. I actually like him. No. Yeah. I was going to say, did we cancel
I don't know if
Richard
it's cancelable.
Dreyfuss?
He might just have some controversial opinions. I don't remember exactly.
Well, if he's
what
the
it was.
Trumper, he's canceled. Let's just be honest.
That's the rule.
That is the rule. No, I don't know. But does everybody remember I was just thinking this. Does everybody remember their first Richard Dreyfuss film?
Jaws.
Yeah.
Okay, that checks out. That checks out. Sorry, that felt like a gimme. Now that I think
maybe
about
Family
it,
Guy, if that counts.
I think I saw Mr. Holland's Opus
Yes!
before I saw Jaws.
That I think so too, actually.
yes.
And I love that movie. I feel like that is so underrated. It's a little bit rough, but it is great, and he gives it an amazing performance.
Okay. Oh wait, was he in what's the one with the pod people? Alien invasion type movie. Not Soylent Green, but whatever that is. I think he's in that, and I might have seen that first. No, I don't think it was Body Snatchers. It's the one where they have the pods in the swimming pool. What the fuck was that called?
Okay, well, I was busy going down the rabbit hole of what Richard Dreyfuss may or may not have done recently that got him cancelable, and I will just say a little bit cancelable.
Oh, Richie.
What did he actually? He said something.
It was a little
stupid,
bit
right?
anti-trans.
Oh.
Bit anti-trans.
We don't like that.
We don't like that at all. We are not anti-trans on this pod.
Are you saying trans or trains? I'm angry either. I'm angry either way, but it's slightly more angry on the first one.
We are not
Okay.
anti-trans or trains, but in this case, trans on the pod.
Damn it, Dick.
Dickie Dreyfuss.
Dickie Dreyfuss, get your shit together.
Cocoon. Was he in Cocoon?
He was, I believe.
Okay, then I might have seen that before I saw Jaws.
I'm pretty sure he was in Cocoon, actually. He was definitely in Always. Did anybody ever see Always? That was a favorite in our household, which I know is a deep cut. But he also he was in James and the Giant Peach, as you know. We just did that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so technically that might be my first Richard Dreyfuss movie.
Also, he was kind of the villain in The American President.
Never saw
Think
that.
of him as the Trump of The American President.
Okay.
As an Aaron Sorkin film. Yeah. Which is a great movie, by the way. Incredible movie. I wish that Aaron Sorkin could write our presidents because he does a great job.
Could write our presidents?
Yeah, if you just hear them talk and be the people that they are.
Can he just write the script and we can just
That's what I'm saying.
Follow it?
That's what I'm saying. Can he just write our presidents, the characters?
Neither of our presidential candidates can memorize that much dialogue, let's be honest, or be that witty.
Well, no, I'm definitely opting for a different candidate altogether for sure, but I would like Aaron Sorkin to write him. That would be great. Or her, because that would be even better.
I was reading earlier that I knew this was the first summer blockbuster sort of that set that trend of, films coming out in the
kind of by
summertime.
accident, to be honest.
Yeah, because it was, Skylar, you were saying it was supposed to get released in December or something.
Yeah.
But then just all the production delays and shit made it get pushed back.
They had a lot of issues with filming because none of them knew shit about fishing or boating. And they ended up actually encountering a guy, I can't remember his name, they encountered a guy during production who was actually annoyed at them because he had a ship docked near where they were shooting, and they sprayed something that got on his boats or his dock or whatever, and he was super fucking annoyed. But then he realized how bad they all were at like sailing, boating, shooting. Like he was like, y'all don't know what the shit you're doing. And so he offered his services. He's like, let me help out because you don't know anything. He's not credited though. He is not credited. But he is a big reason why it even finished shooting, because he helped them figure out how to shoot in this environment. But yeah, then nobody knew what they were doing, and there were lots of delays. Lots and lots of delays.
So hence it coming out in like, was it a July release or was it was June or something, right?
It was I thought it was July 1975. Maybe. June or July.
Yeah, we were talking about
It was
we were
summer,
talking about
June or
last
July.
week of like summer movies, and I feel like this and Sandlot were the two obvious ones because they have July 4th scenes in them. You know,
Yeah.
the entire plot of this is kind of circulating around July 4th. But going back to what I was saying though about this being, you know, the first summer blockbuster, I always knew it did that, but I didn't know that it legitimately was the highest grossing film of all time for a stretch of like 2 years. And then Star Wars came out, and then we got into like, now it seems like every year, you know, we're breaking records, but legitimately the highest grossing film of all time when it came out, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, I wonder, like, I know it's a great movie, but I'm thinking of people, like, when this came out, what is it because it's scary without being a full-on horror film? Like, what is it that drew people to spend so much money to go see this?
I think it's the suspense.
Yeah.
You know? I think, because, like, if you think about it, I mean, we're going to get there, obviously. But you don't see the shark, you don't see the attack, you don't see, like, it's all the not seeing that makes you really curious and tense and engaged for so much of it. And I don't think that was really common, like, prior to, because this is 1975. So, like, that had not happened a lot. It was very, like, especially from a script level and the way things were written, it was very, like, straight shot, tell the story, plot, point. You weren't withholding a lot, you know? And I think this is the first one, and even Spielberg talks about this, is how he withheld a lot in this film, and he tested it several times of, like, when does the audience react? How strong is the reaction? How long you wait to show the shark? How long you wait to show the head? All these things. And I think that was just so different than anything that was out there. And that was like a big moment in film.
Yeah, because you don't see the shark till like an hour and a half almost into the film.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't think you can ignore that Spielberg really broke a lot of film. I mean, of course, everybody knows that Spielberg is brilliant, but I just mean he made a lot of things normal that were not normal then, is what I mean. Like, he just really got really creative with the way that he shot things in a way that you really hadn't seen before. And he would experiment a lot. He took a lot of risks.
Yeah, I think, and that was a matter for, at least for this film, though, I think that was a matter of necessity, because, like, we all know the reason why you don't see a lot of the shark. Like, yes, it's built suspense, but I don't think that was the original intent. The reason you don't see the shark for an hour and a half is because 2 of the 3 actors that play the shark were on strike, and so they didn't show up for the first 6 days of shooting. And so they didn't have the shark for the first 90 minutes of the film. And then they finally came back on board and were like, okay, we're here. That's not actually what happened. That's just one of the fake facts that I'm making up.
I was going to say.
I told you I'm just going to make shit up.
I was going to say that's not accurate. I was like, when do I jump in and correct him?
Everybody, I wish you guys could have seen all 3 people here just sort of doubtfully nodding their heads.
I was definitely like, they were 3 animatronic sharks that cost $250,000 a pop, actually.
Yeah.
There was no person that paid the shark. Like, okay.
But it's like the shark looked like shit. Not like shit, but when you see it in this, you know it's not a real shark. It looks the exact same quality as when you go to Universal and ride the Jaws ride. It's the same exact look, which is a great ride.
Janelle's like, it was an excellent ride. I don't want to hear you talk shit about it.
Why Spielberg had to sort of do those things of, what's a creative way I can shoot this without showing how shitty this animatronic thing looks. So I think it makes total sense, and like, good for him. It's cool to spawn this.
Well, and I just think that Spielberg is so brilliant. Like, if you think about this, he was 30. He was 29 something. He was 29 or 30 when he released this highest grossing film of all time. Like, wild. Yeah. You know, his first film that turned a profit, he was 17. Right? Like, wild. This is a I don't want to, I mean, genius might be too strong a word, but I don't think it's that far off. I mean, he is a film, he was blazing trails in film. And I don't think that, I think that he's such a known entity now, and some of his work is so known that we kind of take that for granted.
It's also like the longevity of it. It's
Yeah.
There's a lot of directors or writers or music artists that can, make one great thing, groundbreaking thing.
And he can just make them over
and he's
and
just
over
been doing
and
it for
over and
decades.
over. Yeah.
I haven't seen The Fabelmans yet, but like I've heard
Oh,
that's
it's
really
so
damn
great.
good. So
It's so great. Well, and I think it's also like, it is such an homage to his family and his upbringing. Like his mom in particular, I want to say her name was Leah. She was just such a free spirit and artist, and she encouraged him to learn and do and be whatever he wanted to be, but like to experiment, to be weird, to be different. And it just, I think, really empowered him to follow that path that he wouldn't maybe have otherwise. And he just was, again, he was experimenting with all forms of film from a very young age. Firelight, which was the film I was talking about, he was 17 and he sold out the world premiere and made a $1 profit. But like, how big a deal is that? You're
Inflation, am I
17
right?
years old and you just made a profit on your first film. Like, I just think it was such a precursor to everything that he did after that. It's so great.
And what do we think of that movie?
I've never seen Firelight, actually. I've never seen it. I've just read about it.
You said
Do you know what the plot is?
We don't know the plot.
You said he was like 17?
He was 17. He was really young. It didn't get wide distribution. I think that, if I recall correctly, the premiere was like in Arizona. But he sold out the theater, so that's how he made the profit.
Well, I mean, selling out a theater in Arizona in that year, it's like they're gonna go. They don't have anything to do. They live in fucking Arizona.
I just want to say for the record that Lemar is now talking shit yet again about Steven Spielberg, and we will never get him on the pod. We're never gonna get him as a guest at this rate.
I bet the week before that Spielberg movie, like the movie premiere was just a cow standing in a field. And
Oh my
like, oh, we're going to the movies. It's sold out.
Spoken like a true New Jerseyan who's never been to Arizona, by the way.
So I know that everybody, when they watch this, Quint seems to be like the favorite character, but does anybody else like have a character that stands out?
The dog.
The dog?
The
big one that was fetching the
It's
stick,
always the
or
dog for me. Any
Okay.
dog in the movie is the best one. Yeah, no, that's a great question. Skylar, Janelle, who are your faves?
I mean, Quint. You gotta love Quint. I do like Hooper, just for how well he counteracts or balances Quint. I guess those two butting heads are like that.
And that's a very intentional dynamic, but I definitely think the drinking and the conflict around that contributed to how that turned out.
It came from an authentic.
It came from an authentic place, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Can we shout out to Chrissy in the wonderful
and her poor spine.
Her acting in that opening scene.
Well, like we said,
I'm
she
an
wasn't
actual
exactly
fucking
acting.
pain.
She deserves some recognition.
Oh, she definitely deserves some recognition.
She sacrificed
That's-
for this movie.
She did. She did. I just love the way Richard Dreyfuss talks.
Yeah.
I love his voice. I mean, that's a silly, maybe simple thing to say, but I just love the way he talks. He actually reminds me of Paul Giamatti in that way.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I feel it's a similar energy.
We did see that the shark was caught. That did happen. I remember.
So this
seeing
is the other thing. They caught a shark. So for those of you, again, watching at home, they have caught the shark at this point, the shark, quote unquote, but it is a shark. There's no evidence that it's the shark doing the attacking. And I don't remember, because we were frankly talking through a lot of this. What is their evidence for why that shark is the shark?
Because it's a shark.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a shark.
Because it looks like a shark.
I mean, to be fair though, that the main, Jars, he has what, a 3 body count right now? He's already killed 3 humans.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that
So
many.
3 of us, 3 of them. So still got 2 more to go to catch up.
This is a very eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth situation, according to
Yeah,
Omar. And I don't know
yes.
about that. I'm not about that life.
Have you guys seen the Jaws sequels?
No, I was
Hell
actually
None of
just
them?
telling Janelle earlier
None
that
of them?
I watched, well, so I started Jaws 2, I remember back in the day, I watched Jaws 2, and I ended up turning it off. I was like not that into it. I don't think they're that great.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
apparently,
bad.
but
yeah, they're definitely bad. And it's like we've already talked about how it's, like getting struck by lightning is like your likelihood of a shark attack. And so this plot itself, the fact that a shark would terrorize a town is already a little over the top, but for the sake of the story, we let it slide. But they get more and more ridiculous as they go on. Like I think the second one, a different shark or like Jaws' mom or something comes and it attacks the same exact town, and Brody's got to stop that shark. And then in the third one, Brody's sons move to a different city and are working in basically SeaWorld. And is it literally
It's legit
SeaWorld?
SeaWorld.
Okay.
oh my god.
And they
SeaWorld
are working there,
continuing
and
to
a
be
shark
problem.
shows up to attack them. And then in the fourth one, Brody's wife travels to a different country or like an island,
Like
and
the
a shark
Bahamas.
follows her to from where she lives to the island to like hunt her down.
Because the whole thing is that it can smell the bloodline. That's why it's Jaws' revenge.
Oh.
Wow.
But yeah, so if you have any
It
doubts
can
that this
smell
is
the
like,
blood.
I think that
so bad, but it's so good.
I think that adds so much credibility to like, yes, Jaws is a straight up horror movie because it is a franchise that gets shittier and shittier.
gets
Despite the
shittier
first one
and
being incredible, it is a horror franchise.
Oh,
They're
I
all
love that
really
the horror
fun,
fan
though.
is admitting that live and on air. And my favorite part is that it is recorded
Yeah.
for posterity. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome. But yeah, I always forget about these middle parts where it's just them making plans and sort of, I don't know. Oh, this is where they're cutting up to see if it's actually the shark or not.
Yeah, this is where they determine like there's no human remains, in case you're curious. There's no human remains inside of the stomach of this shark, which by the way was a tiger shark. And the whole thing that Hooper says is like this shark that attacked these people, it was an abnormally large shark, like weirdly big. And tiger sharks aren't like the bigger breed of shark necessarily, so it's kind of weird that they thought that would be the one.
Kind of little.
And they're kind of little. They're a little bit slight, and they don't have any human remains in this one. So that's why Hooper thinks there's a continued shark problem.
Also, I don't know enough about this, but like, how often do sharks have to eat? Because it's only been 2 days and it's eaten 3 people.
I
Like,
think they have to eat a lot. 'Cause
Really?
They're always swimming.
Yeah, they
They're all
burn a
about
lot of
that
calories for
cardio
sure.
life,
They're
yeah.
constantly swimming. But I don't know that they need human volume level of food.
right.
And they're never coming back to the same area.
I don't know if that's true. That could be.
Do they migrate? Do sharks migrate?
Whales
think so.
migrate, but
I
I
think
don't
sharks
recall
migrate.
if sharks do. It would make sense. I mean, even from a weather and temperature standpoint.
This monologue sounds like Willem Dafoe. Like the voice.
I'm gonna make a little tequila bevy. Does anyone want?
Look how
I wouldn't say
drunky
no.
he is right now. I love this.
This is drunk. What's his name?
Quint?
No, Brody.
Brody.
What's the actor's name?
Roy Schneider.
Roy
Scheider.
Scheider. Drunk Roy Scheider is sober Willem Dafoe, is what I learned today.
Oh, okay.
It's like one less letter, but it's really so much more difficult to say.
It
Right,
is.
yeah.
It is.
It doesn't
I have to
flow.
think a lot harder about it. Yeah.
Did we even say that we're doing this on July 4th earlier?
We did not. Hi. Happy
Yeah.
4th of July, guys.
Let's start the episode over. So it's July 4th. I think we should have probably
I think we should post this
pointed
to the
that
pod,
out.
though. We're going to post the picture to the pod of us doing our live recording. We're working hard for you guys on our July 4th holiday.
I mean, working hard is in quotations.
You're drinking in a pool.
Yeah.
They don't need to know, guys. Just commit.
But wait, is this where he puts on the scuba suit and goes down?
The big jump scare.
That's the jump scare with the head in the boat.
Yeah.
I forget about that almost every time. This is the first time I've remembered that happens. Because I saw it, I went and watched Jaws last year, with my best friend Matt and his wife Danielle. Shout out to them if they've made it this far into the episode. I don't know how many people are going to make it this far into the episode, but
Real ones will.
yeah, I
The
went
real
and
ones,
watched
the real
Jaws. I think it was in Asbury with them on the beach, and so you set up a chair in the sand and they threw on the movie. And I had completely forgotten about that jump scare of the head. I'm just like, why is this scene happening again? And right as I had a thought of like something's about, like the head popped up and the jump scare happened, and I actually did jump, sitting there in a crowd of people. Oh, this is the part, yeah, because he's gonna go down and check it out. He's got to check the hull. Janelle, what do you want to talk about? We got some dead air here. Why do you like Jaws?
He's like, this isn't interesting.
I wanna
There's a
be on the
spotlight in the
spot.
dark.
What do I like about Jaws?
Yeah, what do you like about Jars?
I mean, you kept watching them, so you must love them more than the rest of us, to be honest.
I like this movie. This is a good movie. It's a very quality script, dialogue. Like it's all good. I like the little bit of shark.
You
It's a
like the
fun
little
one.
bit of shark?
Well, you don't need to have constant shark.
I like the little bit of
A
shark.
little bit of shark. A little bit of shark. And then I also love horrible movies, which is why I watched all the sequels.
Which one is your favorite of the sequels?
Oh, Revenge.
The
Or you
fourth
get Michael
one.
Caine.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a good one. It's the
Is
most
he? I've
ridiculous.
never seen that one. So is he actually into it? Like, is he trying, or is he just getting a check?
Michael Caine. How dare you suggest that Michael Caine would phone in anything?
That's true.
He
Michael
is in
Caine
it,
is
my friend.
perfection and profession incarnate. He is. He's maybe the only reason I would watch further Jaws.
It's
that
ridiculous.
is
It's
that
real
Michael
bad,
Caine is
but
in
it's
them.
real fun.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Although the 3D one is fun as well.
So Pooper is now going down into the
This
boat
is
to
the scariest
investigate.
part of the whole movie.
Yeah, this is the best scare in the film. And this was only rated PG, right?
It was.
That's
It was only
bonkers
rated
that you see a
PG.
decapitated head, but this is only rated PG.
But they didn't curse that much, so here we go.
Never no boobs. There's
No
no boobs.
boobs.
Can't have that.
There's no boobs.
We don't want our
but
kids
you
seeing
definitely
that.
get a decapitated
There it
head.
is.
See Chrissy's butt?
I don't think we saw.
Wow.
Maybe you might have seen Chrissy naked.
I
but,
love
like,
them
so-
freaking out. Okay, but would you freak out to this degree where you like surfaced really fast if you saw it?
You get the
decapitated head?
bends.
Yeah, I
You
would.
get the
You would-
bends.
Yeah, you don't want to get the bends. That's what I'm saying.
I
But they're not.
think I
Are
like
they
that when I see
scuba
it
ing or are they just snorkeling?
I think he was just snorkeling because it was
Yeah.
only a tiny boat that he was going underneath.
Yeah, so he's not getting the bends.
Yeah.
I
It's a
react that
man-eater.
way when I see a cockroach. So.
That gives me very like His Girl Friday, like 20s, 30s films vibes. It's a man eater.
He's a man-eater.
Look at his fucking anchor blazer that he is so committed to. I just need us to all take this in.
He's a man of the people.
He's a
okay?
man
He's
of
a
the people.
elected official.
Ah. Is ringing a dinner bell. The name of
Jaws.
the shark
We know
is
the name of the
Jaws.
shark, yeah.
Obvious. Yeah,
Oh no.
it's a great white. I love the technical
This
name that he
man.
drops.
Yeah, Carcaragan. That should have been the real name of the movie.
He's such a mayor. Like, how do I not deal with this?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The answer to all of your questions is money, and this mayor needs to keep up tourism.
Swims up and bites you in the ass.
The vandalism is pretty good, yeah. What are Buster Browns?
What are Buster Browns?
Mackenzie, Google that. An
I'm-
image search. Buster Browns.
Buster Browns. Here, I'm doing the Lord's work over here. Hang on. Whoa.
It's not underwear.
Buster Brown is a comic strip character created in 1902. Adopted as the mascot of the Brown Shoe Company. Him and his dog became known to the American public. The character's name was used to describe a popular style of suit for young boys. So, I mean, I think that they're like, it's the suit.
Oh, I thought it was
Okay.
going to be something more graphic than that.
I don't think so. I think hung up by their suit is what I'm reading into it.
Fair.
They also, it's like a wildly crazy looking character, to be honest.
Buster Brown.
Yeah, it's a little creepy, actually. Here you go.
Oh.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
like that
post
at
that
all.
on the
We don't like that at
Instagram.
all.
That's
This is a
terrifying.
little creepy.
Buster, no.
Buster Hard No. Thank you so much.
Are you guys more like those bitches will be open?
Those
for
beaches
business?
will be open.
Open up them bitches.
He's like, listen, those tourist dollars, I'm not giving them up. I'm not doing it.
Are you guys like? What's your favorite body of water to swim in? Are you beach people? Are you pool people? Are you river, lake?
Lake,
Ooh,
maybe.
that's a great question.
Why a lake?
Because I like that it's fresh water and you can just kind of float and chill, but there's no waves to suck me up, basically.
Fair.
It's a nice, easy float.
I do feel like I like a lake. I do like a lake. I would say maybe a lake or a river. Yeah.
I like rivers better because it's flowing water.
Yeah, I like flowing water because it's usually cooler, actually, and it's flowing. I like that. I do like a beach, but at least in Texas, we were born and raised with not great beaches,
Yeah.
to be honest. They're very dark and gross and usually polluted in some way.
When you're this far into the Gulf, you're just not getting great water.
Yeah, you have to go further out by quite a bit to get to the
Mhm.
nice water. And or you got to literally leave the state to get to some nice water.
I'm like, I love the beach, but I hate sand. So it's kind of like a give and take. I just
Whoa.
if
Wait,
the-
talk
we
to
could-
us more about that.
sandless
Why do we
beach.
hate sand?
it's
Where
just-
does this come from? What's happening?
It goes everywhere. I hate having to rinse off and like shower. Like you get it all over your legs and stuff. It feels gritty. It gets into every drink and every piece of food you're trying to consume.
Wow.
Like chewing sand. Like you go to the beach as a kid and you have a sandwich. No pun intended, but you have a sandwich and like sand gets into it and you're just feeling that crunch while you eat. I hate that. So not a big fan of sand. If we could invent sandless beaches.
I feel like I hear that a lot about sand, that it gets into everything, and I totally agree. But the one place I haven't experienced sand is in my food. And you do hear that a lot.
you should try it sometime. You'll hate it, and then you'll understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I don't like that. It sounds terrible. I agree.
Oh, this is the So this guy, if you're still watching along with us, this is the guy that wrote the book. This is his cameo.
Yep.
So that's the author. I forget, what did you say his name was?
Peter Bleachley?
Benchley?
Benchley. I keep wanting to call him
Yeah.
Beachley, and I think it's because there's a beach involved. I don't know why. Peter Benchley. I apologize. Did you know he was fired from this movie?
What was his actual role? Like,
well,
what
you know,
job was he
usually
doing?
the author is like an advisor and consultant on the film, and he was fired from it because he got so upset about the climax of the movie, and he threw like a real fit about it, and he was fired off the movie.
I think in the book, isn't it like they kill the shark with just harpoons and stuff?
Yeah.
But like they wanted it to be more explosive.
They wanted it to be
again.
more intense, and he
Yeah.
didn't like it. And then there was one other thing. I can't remember what he did, but he got into like an actual conflict with somebody on the film, so he got fired.
I was gonna say it's funny that they fired the guy who like didn't like the ending, but they didn't fire the alcoholic that was like fist fighting people on set.
Well, he's great.
I think they were too
That's
committed
true.
at that point, or they would
Benchley
have.
was great
to
in
be
his role
honest.
too. He just nailed it, telling us the news. Watching this, it's weird. Watching this does make me want to go to the beach, though. Aside from the shark piece, just like, wow, man, I'd love to just like, yeah, take a little boogie board and lay out there in the water. Does the mayor play a part in all the sequels, or the second one at least, when they're still in Amity?
The second one is the one I've seen the least, so I don't really remember that one as well. I have seen the third and fourth multiple times.
I like to think that the exact same thing happens in the second one. They're like, Mayor, there's another shark. You have to close. And he's like, no, tomorrow's the 4th of July. They just run it back. His dad almost sends his kid to die.
Yeah.
Go play in the pond. Sharks can't get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just you wait.
Yep. I don't know why that's funny with subtitles on when she's mouthing words and it just says mouthing words. And
Mouthing words. I love a subtitle. Obviously, I watch everything with subtitles.
The random sound
The
effects
things
that
you
get,
pick up,
subtitled.
it's so great.
Well, you were saying during Sandlot, I don't think any of us knew when we were kids that they were saying
Scam them
pool
honeys.
Scam
Scam them
pool
pool honeys. I did remember that. Well, I remember hearing that back in the day, but I sort of forgot it. And on rewatch, I was like, oh my God. They're scamming pool honeys. Yikes.
Like these shots of like the feet in the water, even if you're
Those
not
are
afraid
cool.
of sharks, that sticks with you when you're swimming at the beach and it's like anything could be down there. It's not necessarily something that's going to kill you, but that does always stick with me of like my feet down there. You feel something brush your leg. Maybe it's a fish, maybe it's something else. But these shots always freak me out.
I think anything, brushing your leg under the water is never super comforting.
Right. Supposedly. Uh-oh. There's a shark.
That's a shark tail, guys. Shark tail.
Shark!
I think it's something like 70% of the film is shot from this angle, right? Like water level. It's something crazy. And I think it just so contributes to the claustrophobia feel of being in the water and not being able to see everything that's happening.
Why no whistles?
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah,
is
no
he trying
whistles.
to like prevent a panic? Or does he think the shark is going to hear the whistle and be like, oh shit.
I'm gonna make it mad.
You're going to make it mad. I think it's because, like, in the book, it's that it attracts sharks to whistle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? Dad
Yeah.
pushed the kids off the float and, like, he stole it?
Some real Titanic energy.
Yeah. Like, I guess maybe this is why, because doesn't somebody die in this, like, stampede?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's having a bad time.
Oh, he switched his blazer. He switched his blazer, though. No more anchors.
So
The anchors
He's
were
not
good
feeling
luck.
so jaunty.
Yeah.
It's just stripes.
Oh.
Ladies.
Oh, is this for us?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Don't worry, Lemar, we got special.
Look at it.
Thanks, buddy.
It's so
Skylar's
It's so
refilling our
pretty.
bevies in case you guys couldn't tell what was going on.
If y'all didn't know, Skylar is our bartender and just came out with more drinks. So our narration might get worse from here, is what I'm hearing.
It may.
It may. Have y'all ever been to a beach with those big, like, beach tents, the, like, ones that are
No.
already there?
No.
Yeah, is that a thing? They look beautiful.
Have they been there all movie, or did they just show up
No,
on
they've
the
been
4th?
there. They've been there.
Okay.
But I just don't. I've never been to a beach that has those. You bring your own shit. At least in Texas, it's very like,
Right.
bring your own. Deal with it.
No, I've been to like music festivals on the beach where they set up tents for like the
Right.
day, but I've never been to one where they're just always there.
That feels very like Amalfi Coast Italian to me. That doesn't feel like something we do here.
Right. Everybody in this town's seeing sharks.
Well, I mean, that one was.
Also, that's really shallow water. Can it
yeah,
actually
like
swim
why would
that
they?
fast?
If it's that big of a shark, it's
Mhm.
like 3 feet offshore.
I do really feel like this is such a Moby Dick,
Like
movie, like
homage.
just an homage to Moby
Yeah,
Dick of like,
yeah.
Moby Dick was such a vengeful situation like this one, and that's not typical of a shark. Ooh, here we go, little tail.
Uh-oh. This
Uh-oh.
kid just witnessed a death.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Ooh! There's a shark. That was a good amount of shark.
That's a
Oh,
cool
leg.
Like, again, rated PG.
We got the leg. Rated PG with some blood and the dismembered body part.
That's how you do practical effects well. Like, you get a
But
realistic
also,
looking
that leg
severed
looks pretty real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, the blood coming out of it as it
Yes.
falls. Like, that's...
I just can't with the shark fin. I love the shark fin. I get excited every time I see it. I know that that's wrong. I'm like the Spielberg of this moment, because Spielberg said when he read the book, he was like cheering for the shark.
Oh yeah, we all
He was very like,
Yeah.
none of the people are likable. I'm pro shark in this situation, and I am definitely the pro shark person in this situation.
Also, this shit wouldn't go down in Texas because somebody just said, doesn't anybody have a gun?
Oh,
Yeah.
There'd be 18 people killing this shark.
Oh, yeah, there would be a lot of people. Well, and this is the scene that is based off the original Shark Attack. Yeah. Oh, pobrecito. Okay, I don't like crying babies. Okay, I'm not a monster.
Shark tried to kill my boy.
Yeah.
Now Brody
War.
knows, what has
This
to be
means
done.
war, exactly.
Should have fought him 2 days ago when I told you to.
Swift punch in the face.
That's a cool nurse's hat.
Is it?
Yeah.
That
so
is a
tall.
real
It's
legit
a
nurse's
fancy
hat.
nurse
It's a
hat.
very nurse's hat.
Head nurse.
Yeah. You can tell. It's on her head that she's the head. Oi.
I like the choice. I know that there's a lot of characters obviously leading up to this,
Mm-hmm.
but I love that they opted to really just have there be three main characters
Mm-hmm.
as far as the crew that's going to end up hunting this shark. Because I feel like nowadays, when you look at like the Meg or different shark films, you gotta have a cast of 8 or 10 people where they're gonna get picked off.
12,000 people are
And
hunting
I like
this
that
shark.
this one. I always enjoy when horror movies limit the amount of main characters so you get more attached to them. So if one of them does perish, it's a lot more heartbreaking.
Also, when we talk about the use of perish, what a great...
When they
what a
perish.
great...
2 syllables. I
What
could have
a
said die,
good
but I went 2
one.
syllables.
What a great word
Yeah.
choice. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I agree with you, but I don't like that all the hunters are men and not women, I will say.
No, take it
I
up
mean,
with
it's
Spielberg.
of the period.
Or
I get it.
Bergley,
It's
whatever the
fine. But
authors
why
are.
is there not a single woman shark hunter?
I feel like Brody's wife should be a lot more pissed off than she is. She should
I
be
know.
Like, I'm
Get
coming with
involved.
you. Yeah.
Should have been Jaws' revenge.
Yes.
Check it out.
Totally. I'll pay that guy what he wants.
Mayor's going through some emotions right now.
He looks so silly losing his shit in his striped blazer and his
It's
pink
like
shirt.
salmon.
And
Yeah.
smoking in a hospital also.
Yeah,
Let's talk
yeah.
about that.
I mean, honestly, I miss the days when you could smoke in a hospital because they smell bad now. They probably smell better with cigarettes.
At least the nicotine would cover
Yeah.
the smell. Is that what you're saying? Yikes. One case of apricot brandy. You get dinner when you get. This negotiation is hilarious.
Yeah. The color TV.
And don't forget the color TV, guys. Oh, Lord.
It gets a lot sadder watching this.
It
knowing
does.
This guy's having a blast making this movie, but not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Oh.
Oh, he's savoring it. Moonshine. That's what you do. Take a tiny little sip at a time.
Well,
Or you spit
Yeah,
it out.
you spit
Yep.
it out.
That would, yep. That checks out. Okay, he's just grilling some jaws. Just love it. Don't drink that. He chugs it. I love it.
Transplants.
I mean, he caught your big bag. Listen, if it were me, let's just clear the beach. You know what I mean? Like, why are we hunting in this situation? Let's just clear the beach.
Because the mayor doesn't want to do
That's
that.
why the mayor is the real villain.
But also, the
shark.
mayor is willing to pay this guy $10,000 to go find, plus $200 a day to go find the shark instead of just clearing the beach. Again, cut off the food supply. That's what he said earlier.
Mhm.
I feel like that's the move. We don't got to kill sharks.
True. What?
Just might give it a try.
Oh. Aside from Jaws, do you guys have any other shark movies that you really enjoy?
Fuck yeah.
You want to be more specific? Or
I
is
was
that the
going to say,
title of the
wow,
film?
that was like
Fuck
an
yeah.
intense and immediate response.
Well, we did address my love of bad movies earlier, so like
Okay,
Deep
so
Blue
wait.
Sea,
Deep Blue
obvi.
Sea.
Hell yeah, Deep Blue Sea.
What is the one we just talked about this? The one with Blake Lively?
Mm,
In the
the Shallows.
Shallows.
Did you like that?
I did like it.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
curious. I didn't see it. It looked interesting, but it also looked like she was trapped on a buoy for most of it.
Yeah, it's there's not a lot going on.
Not a lot going on, but I love it. I love it.
It was good.
I feel like I need more activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy, for what I said earlier, though, I did enjoy the first Meg. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it was a
I had
entertaining
zero
film.
interest in the Meg. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
It's dumb and predictable, but it is a fun watch still.
Okay, but what makes it fun? Break it down for me.
Like, for me, we were talking about horror movies earlier, and it's just like, I'm not necessarily watching them to be scared. Like, sometimes you just want to watch something that's silly and, like, mind-numbing and turn your brain off for, like, an hour and a half, and it's
That's
fun.
Skylar's favorite type of movie. So
Yeah.
yes.
The Meg is fun because it's got, I always think the formula is like you have to have a diverse group of characters that are likable, but not so likable that you're gonna cry every time one of them dies. Because obviously, when you have 10 characters in a horror
Yeah.
film, that's what's gonna happen. But I feel like it's that. I feel like it is. You do have to have some suspense of how do you slowly reveal this creature. Because if you just show it at the beginning, it becomes a lot less enjoyable to watch. But
Mhm.
and then there has to be some semblance of a story. It doesn't have to be. But it has to be more than just I'm a girl trapped on a rock and there's a shark. Like that, sometimes that can work. But I think the Meg actually does have a semi-decent story of why they're doing what they're doing and why they're there. So I enjoyed it, and I thought Jason Statham did an alright job. There's a couple stupid subplots, but it's a fun movie.
I do like Jason Statham, but I did feel like it was, it looked cheesy from the.
Oh, it
From the
is. It's
trailers.
definitely. I am not by no means saying. This
Also,
is
if you
even
look
an
at like
8
the
out of 10,
relative
like-
size of a Meg, like the way they show what the Meg is versus like any normal shark, you're like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love a Jason Statham moment. But my favorite of his is the Italian Job. I love
I
him
haven't
in
seen
that.
the Italian Job in so long.
I love
Does it still hold
the
up?
Italian Job. Yes, it does.
Okay.
It really does. And also, I love the OG with Michael Caine. Shout out back to Michael Caine. The OG is great as well. I love an Italian Job.
Okay.
Break it up, Chief. No time for some smooching, loving goodbyes. Get your shit together. You're hunting a shark.
Ellen's got her Rosie the Riveter bandana on.
I know.
Uh,
She has a lot going on. She has like a clip and a bandana and a lot happening. Again, why is she not invited? Why is there not a woman on this boat?
Tend to the children.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
That's why she's not going.
That's
She's
why
like,
she's
she
not
heard that
going.
little rhyme and was like, yeah.
Oh,
And
sorry.
now she flees back
He's
to the
making
home,
a lot of
away from the men.
For those listening at home, this was the virginity conversation
Yeah,
that
the
you
little
missed.
rhyme.
You know, sailor talk.
Sailor talk, exactly. The sailor
Yes,
talk of
sir.
it all.
Sorry for the delay, fine sir, but I was putting the burgers on.
Oh, it's almost burger time, everybody.
Okay, it wasn't recorded for posterity, but I wish y'all could have heard how bad Skylar's accents are. It's actually a claim to fame of his.
They're 10 out of 10 worst accents.
10 out of 10 worst accents.
I'm just really hoping that the burgers will be ready before the movie finishes, so you guys can just hear us chew for
Hear
like
us
15
chew for
minutes.
30 minutes as we eat burgers. Hey, you know it's the 4th. You all heard yourself eat burgers. It's our turn.
A little ASMR.
Are there
Yes,
gonna be,
exactly. We're
you know
going
if
to be
there's gonna be
trending.
fireworks around here?
Well,
That
they're
burial sets them
technically
up?
allowed, but there might be a burn ban right now.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, out here they are technically allowed, but there
Saw
wasn't.
that,
There
yeah.
was a
So
stand
the
open.
neighbors have fireworks.
I was gonna say neighbors might be willing. I didn't bring any, obviously. I love. I deeply love fireworks. Do not get me wrong, but I have converted to the side of doggies and veterans, and I
Yeah.
don't shoot fireworks anymore for that reason.
I don't mind as long as it's just on the 4th. I don't like this, like,
It's
the
the
3rd,
lead
it's the
up.
5th, it's
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
The 4th,
Yeah, right.
and that's it.
Well, and it's in the middle of the week like this. It's like it feels like they carry on for days and days
Right.
too. Yeah, I agree.
You get one day.
So, okay, I want to point out in this shot. So, this is the studio shot. So, most of this was shot in Massachusetts, as you guys know, but there is definitely like a studio setting for a good chunk of the on the water of the boat scenes, and this part of these scenes are them.
Oh. Did you hear that? Those tanks are explosive.
Those tanks are ready to blow.
I don't understand what that has to do with anything.
It's
Not important.
nothing.
I feel like you don't need to register that information at all.
Chiefy.
I love the Chiefy. Yeah. Hey, Chiefy. Hey, cutie.
I just love how
Is that like
casual
70s
Clint is.
flirting? You know what I mean? Like
Chiefy.
70s man to man flirting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Chiefy.
What happens at sea stays,
Stays
at
at
sea.
sea.
Am I right?
Get you some.
Yeah. But I just love how casual Quint is throughout this whole process. Like, he's so confident in his abilities. Which, like, it's depressing when we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Yep,
cool,
yep.
calm, and collected. Not sure if listeners can hear Brown Eyed Girl playing.
I was
from
gonna say
the
there
bird.
is. I don't think they can hear it.
I
hope
am
they
very
can
curious to listen to this back and hear, like, can you hear the movie at all? Can you hear that band playing? Like,
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out. We
Can
may
you
have
hear
to-
Skylar when I'm like talking to him, or are you just listening to me talk
Yeah.
to myself? This is gonna be a fun episode.
It is gonna be. I think it will be fun. You guys tell us because we're never doing it again if you hate it. I think it's very fascinating, though. This is a fun rewatch for me, at least. Because again, what if there's a shark in the water, Lemar? It could come get us right now.
In this pool? I mean, if it's the same shark that was just swimming in like 2 feet deep.
That's what
pond,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
it could
It's
be.
possible.
Yeah.
Also, I think that was always the appeal of the Alamo, Jaws on the water, is it was usually in a bigger lake, and you were like, listen,
Who knows?
anything could happen.
Wouldn't they have like scuba divers actually down there, like pinching people's feet and stuff like that?
I don't
to
know if they
scare
did,
you?
but they fucking should have.
Yeah.
That would have been such a move.
I don't like that.
Chanel's like, I opt out. Thank you so much. Wait, do we have a deer?
Yeah, our deer. There's been a deer.
So, for folks listening at home, we're at a good friend's house who is out in Dripping Springs, Texas, and we get deer guest stars coming to say hello. Sharks and deer, real wildlife, guys. Hooper Reverser. I also love that the name of the boat is Orca. Can we talk about that? Also, okay, wait. Poll for the class. Who is like pro Orca militia and who is not?
Like,
Oh, I support that.
yeah, I'm fine with it. I think it's
Yes.
hilarious.
I'm
It's
into
like,
it. I'm into it.
if
I am
any
pro
species
Orca.
is going to evolve to kill mankind, it's going to be orcas.
I am here for the orcas
Yeah.
taking over. Their brains are bigger than ours. They're smarter than us. Like, fuck us.
I'm
Let's.
also more afraid of orcas than sharks.
Because
Yeah.
I
they're
know
smarter.
don't
They will
attack
fuck
humans,
you up.
but
No, they don't. But they're
Very
smarter
smart,
and they
yeah.
will, yeah. They'll mess you. And I'm here for it. We deserve it. Go for it.
Did any of y'all ever see the movie Orca?
No,
came out like I think it was in
no.
the early '90s or late '80s, but it was obviously a ripoff of Jaws. But it was just
Was it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a.
Well, did you know
killer
that the
whale.
original director thought that the
We're the same
animal
thing.
was going to be an orca, not
Oh.
a shark? And they literally fired him off this movie because they were like, we're not going to work with the director who doesn't know the difference between a shark and a whale, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have a real close-up of this deer. Hello, baby. She does like us. I mean, we did give her a cherry earlier. Sorry, Stormy. Hope you don't mind. Stormy's going to be like, you fed the deer, and she will not stop coming back. Oh, she's so pretty.
I know we're a little past it now, but I did want to call out there was a good like suspenseful moment there, like a good example of how to sort of set a tone when Quint knows that like something's happening and he's slowly putting on his like braces.
Oh
and
yeah,
getting
he
the
braces
fish-
himself
and
with
like
the leather.
everyone else
hooks.
is oblivious.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the line starts going. Like,
But
that's
my
a really
favorite
good
part is
setup.
that he doesn't give anyone a fucking heads up.
Right.
He's like,
Right.
I'm very aware shit's about to go
Yeah.
down, and I wish you yuppies the best. Bye.
So I always forget how long the actual pursuit of the shark goes for.
It's so long.
I
It's
always
most of
forget
it.
How long the beach town lasts before they even get in the ocean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, to me, it's like I always forget because I know that there's the big dramatic monologue coming up, but I forget that they're like already hunting it, and then it's like they do all this shit this day, then it's nighttime, they have their little bonding moment, and the next day finally they have the final standoff or whatever. But damn.
Burn.
It's a sick burn, Quint.
Burn.
And then we get this.
Oh my
That's not a
god.
good comeback to
Wow.
No.
You
wealthy
you-
college
Loves
boys.
it,
Yeah.
Right? And you wealthy college boys are still 12 years old, is what I just saw.
Yeah.
I do love his snark, though.
Yeah.
I do love his snarkiness. It is so great. I feel like you would get lost on a boat, my love.
I got this. I know when to find the North Star.
Okay.
Sound
We're
like
in our
pirates.
house, and I'm like, which way is north? And he's like, I don't got this.
Well, that's because you can't see the sky.
North is up. Yeah, north is up.
Oh my
always.
god.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It does help living right next to 35. So I'm like, well, north and south are right there.
North and south right there.
Yeah.
I think I would make a great sailor.
Yikes.
I wouldn't be able to do that. Crow's
Because-
nest shit? Mm-mm.
I like rum.
Because
That's
you
what
like
you make
rum.
a good sailor because you like rum.
I'm just kidding. I don't really like rum.
Don't really like- Wait, you can't say that. You're a Florida Conda North American. What is it? Florida Conda North American bartender, top 10. You can't say you don't like rum.
Florida Cognac.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I give zero fucks
Florida
about it.
Cognac.
Florida Cognac
Florida Cognac
rum.
from Nicaragua.
But I'm saying you can't say you don't like rum.
Okay, I do like rum. But not as much as a pirate.
Not as much as a pirate. Well, nobody's like Jack Sparrow. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Damn
here
it.
it comes.
Why is the rum gone? Here we go. Get some chum in the water,
Waka,
my friends.
waka,
Ah,
waka.
there it is.
Oh, we're 121
Also, that is
minutes in.
me. Wait, him right there, that is me in a crisis. I'm all like calm, cool. I'm like, okay. This is fine.
I'm just gonna
It's fine.
back up slowly.
I'm gonna just back up slowly, calm, cool, collect, and don't react. I love his face.
The still burning cigarette.
Just
that's-
like, it's fine. This is fine. That was the most giant shark I've ever seen. But I'm good. I'm good.
And of course, the line.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
That was improv, by the way, if you didn't know.
Oh.
I wonder how many other lines he improved, like in place of that.
That's
Like,
a
what else?
spicy meatball.
Yeah.
This is spicy meatball.
I'm mama. I don't know why they're all Italian.
I was gonna say they all got Italian real quick. Oh, I just love the. I just love the.
to be alone.
Sometimes spaghetti
Let's make a
likes to be
reference to
alone.
something that only the four of us have seen. Yes.
I was gonna say nobody
I like
else
it.
knows what we're talking about, but it was
This is,
funny.
Skylar referenced a movie earlier that no one else had seen.
No
and we
one has
watched
seen.
the clip on YouTube, and yeah, that's what.
What
we're
was it?
going
Big
with.
Night?
Can we just
Big
circle
Night?
back to when
Big
I
Night.
had watched a movie that no one
I
else
know.
had seen?
Yeah.
So
you're-
rare.
You should start a podcast.
You should start a podcast for the one movie you've
Welcome to
seen.
the Big Night podcast, where we only
Welcome
talk
to the
about the
Big Night
movie
podcast.
Big Night with Tony
Well, we
Shalhoub.
talk about why starch doesn't go with starch.
Oh my god. That was the whole reason you wanted us to watch that clip. You were like, this is too much starch.
And also, what's this salad in my pasta?
Oh
And it's a
my-
basil leaf garnish.
Jesus.
I did not order salad.
I feel like that movie probably inspired The Bear. Like the
God,
writers of that.
they
are
were
gonna
like, we
come out
gotta
and be
correct
like,
this.
Why did you
nonsense."
make this TV series? It's like, oh, you ever
Because-
see this movie Big Night?
Big, but also hilarious who all is in Big Night. I've never heard of it, and it's got
the
some like
cast, yeah.
big name
Um,
people in it.
I said Tony Shalhoub. Who was the other one? It was
Stanley
Tucci,
Tucci,
yeah.
yeah, who I love, and I was like, what?
A young Stanley Tucci.
He still had his hair.
He had hair.
He had hair.
And it was dark.
It was dark.
Could have been dyed, but
Regardless, he had hair. That's the point.
I do
Fork
like
on my
this
ass.
argument of like, I don't want to go out there.
How do y'all watch movies without subtitles? Is what I want to know. Loudly.
Pretty
okay.
much, yeah. We have to turn up like the voice setting and I think it's like
Do
a
y'all
modern.
hate subtitles? Who's subtitles and who's not?
I don't like subtitles
I like
for
them.
comedy films because it ruins
Yeah.
punchlines, and I don't
Mm.
like that when I miss the comedic timing behind something.
Yeah.
Or like even in dramas, sometimes the spoilers of like
I
a big
understand-
reveal
I
getting
understand
put
that.
on,
I understand
but
that.
there's some modern day television and movies. I feel like the audio is so off. Where if you're not watching it in a theater,
It's bad.
you have to crank it to hear the dialogue, but
you-
then the sound effects will be so booming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like my problem in theaters is actually translating to theaters now for me personally, where like I will be in theaters and I'm like, I wish I had subtitles because I don't hear the dialogue that well. And it does depend on the movie for sure.
I think Draft House does some closed caption.
They do now.
showings,
And
which
I
is
have
cool.
like wanted to, I just haven't, like it just hasn't worked out
Mhm.
timing wise, but I really want to try that because it does help me. And I agree with you too, though. I have had that where like in a comedy movie, it fucks up the punchline. Totally. Totally.
It's mostly a comedy.
I have
thing
such
for
a
me.
hard time hearing dialogue, and I guess it's a frequency thing.
Yeah, we have the soundbar that we bought like last year has a thing where you can turn up just the voice setting, and it's supposed to amplify just the
I
dialogue.
have that
But
turned
even
on
that
mine as well.
still
Yeah,
doesn't seem to solve the problem.
yeah. I have a Sonos soundbar. It's not their like best one or whatever, but it has that setting, and
Mhm.
it's still not great. I've been like, I should upgrade to a better soundbar because I need the dialogue.
This is
He's
like
really
the
leaning
one-
in. I love him like leaning. He's like, I'm a fucking sailor now.
I was gonna say this is like the one part of the score that I don't love. Of like this, like it feels Indiana
It's this
Jonesy, like it's like
heroic-y Indiana Jonesy.
Everything is
It's
great.
Spielberg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like this
yeah,
is
yeah.
when it goes from
It
being
is
horror
like a
movie to being-
hero's journey score, though.
Yeah,
And you're kind of like, these are going to end up being like heroic figures. So I sort of get it. But yes, I agree. I don't know that it actually aligns in that very short snippet as much with what's actually happening. Right,
Right.
now, even as it transitions, I think it's better.
I do like that.
Yeah.
But that short spurt, I agree with you, is a little too jaunty.
Mm-hmm.
Almost too Goonies.
Yeah.
Like it's very similar
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Captain Show.
And I hesitate to talk shit about John Williams. Now he won't come on the pod. No Spielbergs, no John Williams. What are we going to do with ourselves?
Wait, Spielberg did Goonies?
No, I just mean
Oh.
we've talked shit about both of them on the
okay,
pod,
okay.
and now they're not going to come. And by we, I mean you. Okay, I didn't talk any shit about Spielberg.
Look, fuck Steven Spielberg. If he wants to
Oh
come
my
in here and
God.
defend himself, he can. Mackenzie, I'm doing a
I
thing
am
that's
not
strategic.
associated with this. We're gonna edit this part out, guys.
It's
I
reverse
can't.
psychology.
we-
I'm gonna get
This way
Spielberg
you're
on the
just
pod.
gonna get Tyler Perry, and it's your fault.
I was.
I'll take Tyler Perry, honest.
Oh man, I'm embarrassed. I'm
No
officially
press is
embarrassed.
bad press.
Isn't it though? I don't know if I agree. Janelle and I both. We're on the same page.
Oh,
I
here's
like this
the
part.
this is like the male
We're
bonding.
gonna sing the song.
Well, I like this entire sequence of the song, the sharing scars, and then the big monologue. It's such a perfect 15 minutes or so of cinema. Hopefully you guys are getting this comforting background of, I don't know what those are, cicadas or something?
Cicadas. Yeah. Welcome to Texas, Jersey boy. That's cicadas.
Any of you guys have any cool scars? Mackenzie's got that bruise
I
on her knee.
have so many scars. Are you kidding me? Yikes.
I don't have any cool scars.
I have a lot of scars. I have a trach scar, a big one right here. That's from the, I think I've mentioned it on the pod before, my accident when I was younger. And I have a scar on the inside of my eye, which is where I had staples from that same accident. And this guy is actually not a birthmark. It looks like a birthmark, but it's actually a skin graft from that same accident. So
this was a bike
it
accident?
was a bicycle accident. Yeah, it was really, really bad. But it, left me with a lot of scars. And then I have a ton more. I have this guy from when I was trying to rescue a Rottweiler, because of course I was. But it was in the middle of the fucking night, and he was very scared and anxious, and it was me and a bunch of people. And it was all APA volunteers and whatever. And I was in a dark corner, and I was just standing there, and he definitely launched at me. Like, he couldn't tell what I was doing. I'm not at all upset at the dog. But anyway, he freaked out, bit me. I have a big-ass scar. I had stitches on both sides. Pretty gnarly. Those are my, fun ones. The big ones,
The fun ones.
The fun ones.
Let's not talk about the not fun ones.
Let's not talk about the not
Those are
fun
the
ones.
fun
Well, I
ones.
have other stupid ones because I scar so easily. Those at least have good stories.
I've got my 2 cuts here from my knee surgery. I had 2 knee surgeries 12 years ago. I might be getting another one in the next year. We'll see.
No.
I have a scar under my eye where I got elbowed playing street hockey, and it just split me open across my cheekbone.
Yikes.
And we actually used crazy glue to seal it because I
No,
didn't have great
you
insurance
did
at
not.
that time, and I was a teacher, so I didn't have a lot of money. And one of the guys I played hockey with was like, hey, it's small enough where if you don't want to go to the ER and get stitches or urgent care, I can just seal you up with crazy glue. And it worked.
No
Yep,
fucking
it
way.
fucking worked. So I
That
went
is
to the doctor a
impressive.
couple days later, not urgent care or whatever. And they were like, well, whatever you did, it kind of worked. It's not going to be as clean as if we had stitched it. But yeah, it healed up. You can barely see it now.
I was going to say, I've never noticed that.
Yeah, I have one in my belly button I got my appendix out when I was 18.
Did it burst or you just
came
got it out?
really close.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this sort of funny. It's funny now story of I woke up at 3 a.m. This was between college years, so I was at my parents' for summer break, and woke up at 3 a.m. with the worst pain in my stomach I had ever had. And it was stinging and bad, and I thought it was maybe just a food poison or something, but I wasn't going to the bathroom, nothing was happening.
Mhm.
And I tried to lay back down, but it was just anytime I moved, it was stabbing pain in my gut. Tried staying still, that didn't work. So I get up, I walk over to my parents' room, and I wake them up and tell my parents I don't feel so good. And my dad says, take some Pepto-Bismol, you'll be fine. Took some Pepto-Bismol, laid back down. 30 minutes later, I get up and I throw up, and blood comes out. A bit of blood comes out. So then I go into their room again. I say, I just threw up blood. I think we need to go to the hospital. So my dad gets up, and my dad's Air Force military man, sort of a suck it up mentality.
He's like, oh, fine.
So, so we get in the car, we drive to the hospital, to the ER, and as soon as we walk in, I was already feeling not in shock, but I felt all the blood rush out of my face, I was going to be sick again. And so we get in, and I'm like, I have to throw up again. I'm going to the bathroom. Can you sign us in? So my dad goes up to the counter while I go to the bathroom, throw up again, go back to the lobby. My dad's sitting there. I sit next to him. And then we're waiting, and I'm looking around the lobby and seeing the other people that are in here. There's somebody with broken nose, holding their nose, blood there. Somebody with a cut on their hand, whatever it is. And I'm watching the people that are getting called up before me. Mm-hmm. And I'm just why is this person who has a cut on their hand getting taken before me?
Hi,
I say to my dad,
coughing up blood.
Yeah, I say to my dad, what did you put on the form when you signed me
in?
And he said, stomach pain.
Jesus.
I was like, are you... And I get up,
Dad,
go to the front desk.
And I'm like, I'm coughing up
and
blood.
I'm like, hey... I must have looked like shit, because I felt, again, I feel like my face was pure white. And I just went, I am throwing up blood. I need to get admitted now. And she went, okay, come with me. And just like, no questions, walked me back, laid me on a gurney. I got like pain meds within 5 minutes of laying down. And then I was fine. But yeah, I had to get surgery. I was in the hospital for a couple days. So
I was 12 and mine did rupture, and I was in the hospital for a week.
Jeez.
In the hospital for a week is a
that
long
could kill you,
time.
right? Like that's
if it ruptures, it can kill you. I had like 106 temperature. I went to the hospital the night before, and they wrote me a prescription for Gas-X and said I had gas.
Oh my god!
So I go home.
Which, to be fair, you did.
Take the,
but also
I did exactly.
But also other things.
Yes, the gas pressure was actually my appendix bursting on my intestine.
Wow.
So I've got a nice appendix scar.
You do, yeah. It looks great. You look handsome.
I was throwing up gangrene.
Shit.
Yeah, so that was bad. My nurse said that I was walking like a 95-year-old man for the first 3 days after the surgery.
To be fair,
she wrote that like on the intake form.
To be fair, you still do.
Yeah. Well, it depends what time of the morning.
Oh yes, that's true.
I did actually.
Coffee at 6:30.
There's another silly thing that came out of that experience was I was, like I said, in the hospital for a couple days, and they put a catheter in. Has anybody ever had? I'm sure you have. Has anybody else ever had it? Oh, Jesus! I don't wish it on my worst enemy, but
it's not
yeah,
great. It's not a great experience.
Had that running into me, and I was peeing into a bag basically. And then on like the second day, they went, you have to get up, start walking around because they want to get you moving so they can kick you the fuck out of the hospital. And they sent a nurse in to like walk me, and she had to like carry my bag of urine that was still plugged into me.
Yep.
And we're walking, and I go, where do I know this girl from? And she's like, did you go to Northern? It was a girl I went to high school with.
No.
And now 2 days later, she's carrying around a bag of my pee while it's like running into me. So that wasn't fun.
Oh. At least she wasn't changing your bedpan.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, no bedpans.
That is true.
But
man, they're trying to
turn. Y'all ever changed a bedpan? I have.
Oh my god, you have. Yeah.
Y'all should put a trigger warning at the beginning.
I was gonna say we should put a trigger warning at the beginning of this app.
Everyone's offended by bedpans.
At some point, we stopped talking about the movie altogether.
We did.
Well, to be fair, they were just talking about their battle scars, so that's what we did. We missed the entire monologue.
These are our battle scars. Yes, we did miss. Song. We did miss the monologue that was the drunken and then not drunken. The famous
killer monologue.
Awesome monologue.
I used to, when I was a theater teacher for a couple years.
Yeah,
I used to show that as an example of a dramatic.
But that
monologue.
was the one that he apologized and asked for another shot to come do, and does it sober in one take, and it's a killer monologue.
Yes, and that's another one that wasn't in the book or wasn't in the book, and then they added it. No,
yeah. I love a good monologue. We had to. Well, I was a theater kid, as you know, but we had to do lots of monologue performances, and I had a whole book on monologues, and this is one of the really good ones. I also love the Good Will Hunting monologue.
Good Will. I don't know that I've seen Good Will Hunting all the way through.
You have never seen Good Will Hunting all the way through? What the hell? What
do you have against Robin Williams?
I hate Ben Affleck. No, I
don't. By the way,
kidding.
I was going to say, number one, Argo fuck yourself is right. Exactly. That fucker, he may not be the best actor, but he is a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
He writes and directs some really, really good shit.
And he's given us some great memes.
He has given us some great memes. The exasperated cigarette. Yes, that is such a vibe. We've all been there. We all feel you, Ben.
Yeah. But yeah, again, how is Quint so fucking cool and collected here? Like, they're taking on water. There's a fire. He's chief. Take care of the fire. And I'm going to go out here and try and shoot this shark, I guess.
Because I guess you figure if you're going to sink, you don't want there to be a shark in the water. So you're going to kill the shark first.
Priorities. Yeah. Like, I can survive in the water if the shark's not there.
We're going to be in trouble if the shark is still around.
Just subtitle, all it said was Quint singing. Yeah.
I don't know if technically it's singing either.
I feel like I left out. Anybody else got good battle scars?
No.
None?
I'm boring. I've led a boring life. No surgeries. No severe accidents with scars. Just bruises.
Boring.
Yeah.
I've strained a lot of things, like snowboarding and jumping off of shit that I shouldn't have jumped off of, and definitely hurt a lot of ankles, a lot of knees. But in terms of surgeries, not so much. I had a cyst taken out of my wrist in like first grade, so I got a scar right there from the cyst. I did crank a window out of my elementary school. Actually, it was my middle school English teacher's classroom.
What do you mean you cranked a window
I did
out?
put my hand through a window.
Oh.
Yeah.
You fucked the window up.
Yeah, I fucked that window up. And that blood was rushing. And I ran to the bathroom, and Mr. Ramsey coming out of the restroom, who's a teacher, he just like kind of looks at me like, "Why are you rushing?" And he didn't see that my hand was like full of blood and just dripping.
A lot of people don't know how glass works, especially
Yeah.
panes of glass. Like when
Yeah.
you hit this, the glass still exists.
The
It
glass
doesn't
still
disappear.
exists. No.
It becomes a lot of little pieces of
Yeah,
glass.
yeah. It wasn't the first time I put my hand through a glass.
There was a famous. Oh, geez, the shark. Oh yeah, we're watching a movie. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys, but there's a famous clip of a wrestler named Goldberg from back in the day on WCW, and he like on a live TV spot decided to punch through like a car on the show, like a car window,
Yeah.
to like show how badass he was, but ended up like slicing himself
Like-
open on live television,
Yeah.
like having to get rushed to the hospital. So yeah, you're not alone. You're in good company.
Yeah, and he's in Marvel movies now.
Well, hey.
Goldberg?
Oh, I thought you said Batista.
I didn't say anything about
Oh.
Batista.
Never mind, I got excited.
Well, that's okay. Hit me up, Marvel. I'm here. Able
This
and
is
willing
like-
to work.
This is the part that I don't understand about Quint. Like, I don't love this logic of we're not going to get rescued until we kill this shark. That feels stupid. Because now, even when you kill the shark, you're going to be stranded in the sea.
And he's
Like-
also been so calm the whole movie.
Yeah,
and
this is
now
like the
he's just
one
losing it.
impractical, stupid fucking thing he does. I get
I
it.
just love that he's like, you're certifiable, and he's like, yeah. And your point.
Oh, we got our first fireworks of the night.
Oh, here we go, guys. You might hear the
If you're
fireworks.
scared of fireworks, stop the pod now because I think there's gonna be more.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, hide your dogs.
Your dog is listening.
If your dog is listening,
If you
But
have your
it's-
dog listening to the podcast.
put
If
it.
you put it on calm them when you go to work. Not this episode.
Is there a market for podcasts for dogs?
There should be.
Yeah, there's gotta
Do
be.
dogs get joy out of purely audio stimulation?
They actually
Like,
do.
just
I used
being
to
like,
leave on stuff for my dogs all
Who's
the
a
time.
good boy? Who's
That's
a good
how it is
boy?
over
Over and
and
over.
over.
Yeah.
Good boy.
But you can't say like treat or
No.
walk or anything because then they're gonna lose their shit and their owner's
Yeah.
gonna be pissed. Again, the score here is a little much, but
Very like happy Star Wars.
Yeah. It's like uplifting, which sounds, I don't know. It takes the danger out of it.
yeah.
Doesn't feel intense.
Is this an actual thing that happens of like shooting? I assume it is, right? Like shooting sharks with like little harpoons with barrels attached to them. To,
I
like-
mean, harpoon shooting for sure. Yeah.
huh? It's gonna get him again.
My favorite thing is how fake the shark looks right there. And just the gunshot of like, you thought that little bitch gun was gonna do it?
I'm telling you guys, when you go to Universal, is the Jaws ride still there?
I don't know.
Because it looks
No,
exactly
but
how it
I
does in
think
this film.
It was like a big deal that they were changing it into something else,
Uh,
isn't it?
I do know the
Maybe.
Jurassic ride was at Universal and it was legit.
Which one? The water one?
No, the coaster.
The roller coaster?
Oh, the
Yeah.
Velociraptor?
The Velociraptor. Yeah, that was legit.
It is a bummer if they took that out, because now that
I
whole
think they did.
that Mallrats moment means
Yeah.
nothing. Of like, I would propose when Jaws pops out of the water.
Hey.
Why don't you mind your business?
Brody. Was I with you when we went to Disney and we did the Jungle Cruise and I didn't realize that it was a script and I just thought the person we had was really funny?
Yes.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
I like my view of the story.
We have a fan responding to us midway.
Oh.
So in the pause, I will pause here. We posted, if you are following us on Instagram, which if you haven't, you should, at We Drink and We Watch Things. What is a live ep and why wasn't I invited? Is the reaction.
Who was this?
I don't think we want to release names. It was a person named Matt.
Oh, I know. Yes, I already shouted him out this episode, so yes.
Yes.
He loves
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
He loves this movie and he's upset that he wasn't invited.
He's also going to be mad that it took us so long to think of Jurassic Park as a Spielberg film earlier. So
I
He was
didn't-
definitely the person yelling at the podcast.
For sure. Let there be light.
we got some mood lighting.
Again,
up.
not a
Yeah.
visual medium,
Yeah.
but we have added light. It's getting a little dark out. It's getting to be fireworks time, as we mentioned. So we needed a little bit of light. And now we have it. Beautiful.
I think we need to go back to the beginning of this episode and
We'll
post
share a
and not
picture.
tell people to play the movie because we've barely been commenting on the movie. It's just basically been us bullshitting.
They're just hanging out with us, really.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Lovely to
That's-
see you.
yes.
Thanks for coming. I think this is the nature of a live app.
I've listened to a couple recently, and it's like it's kind of cool when you can hear whatever they're watching in the background, so you can be like, "Oh, it's that scene," or "It's this happening."
Mhm.
But yeah,
I think
Oh.
I got
Look at
a
that
really
shark.
great shark photo just now to share with you folks if you're following along on the Instagrams. So don't worry, you'll see some of this in real time. But also, yeah, people were not invited to this pod recording because we're borrowing a pool.
yeah. Well, also Matt is in New Jersey, so he wouldn't be able to make. it.
Yeah, Matt, geez, get it together.
This is some pretty cool effect stuff here with
Yeah.
the water, like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is all in a studio, you said?
No, not all of it.
Oh.
No. But there are in the prior scene.
That looks like a studio, like
The-
just the fakeness of the
Yeah,
sky
there are
in the background
certain
there.
aspects of these scenes that are studio.
Yeah.
But the earlier one, there was a whole chunk that was all studio.
And just the boat getting dragged in like the water.
Yeah,
That was a pretty cool effect.
yeah. They also shot in a very specific location in Martha's Vineyard because even if you went like I think it was like 15 miles out or something, the sandbar was only 30 feet down, so it was like a lot. It was easier for them to shoot.
Got it.
Makes sense. Oh, it's a pretty strong shark.
This is where we wish that we had the shark's internal monologue. I knew that I had something to prove. I had 3 barrels harpooned into me. But god damn it, I dove.
In which case, again, I would be rooting for the shark along with Spielberg.
Now I had the element of surprise. I should have narrated the whole fucking movie as the shark. That would have been more entertaining, I think.
Could you make him Australian?
I was sitting there thinking to myself,
Nice.
do I just retreat when I have the chance? Or should I give these fellas what for? I knew it had to be done. Dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause. You gotta announce it for sure.
Yeah. Gotcha! See?
Just kidding.
A very Moby Dick moment. I just love how big this shark is.
Yeah.
Like absurdly big,
large.
yeah.
Absurdly large. And I find it ironic that the Orca is the name of the boat, considering that the orcas are going after the boats at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've never seen Orca, you should. It's bad, but it's basically an entire ripoff of this with a killer whale.
We'll put it on after this.
Yeah, we'll do a double feature.
I was
Congrats,
gonna say,
y'all.
I'm ready.
You get 2 more
Let's
hours
do
of
it.
this. I do like this, the whistling.
I know, he's just baiting it at this point,
Yeah.
though. He's like, let me whistle on it. I feel like he's that guy who will needle you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shut up!
Listen, he threw his drink into the water earlier. You just didn't
Yeah,
realize.
maybe that was the same
you know?
day of filming. And he was like, shut up!
Shut
That
up!
was totally improvised, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much, method acting and technical acting at play here. This kid is just actually a drunk. He's like, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
I am this.
I'm doing the best of this.
Stop it. Stop the boat. Woo. Dangerous. Not great. Not great. We don't love an explosion at this time.
All right, let's fuck, marry, kill with these 3 gentlemen on the boat right now.
Fuck, marry, kill. Wow. Okay.
I think I gotta kill Brody.
Kill Bro. He's a little like one-dimensional. Like he's just a quote-unquote good guy. Like he's a nice guy.
Well, maybe a Marion.
A little
I don't
boring.
know, but I love Hooper.
Poopa?
We're obviously all fucking Quint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There's,
I need to
no
know what
question.
that's like.
Yeah.
I had to know.
But it's between who I want to marry, like the super nice guy or like the snarky, fun, smart dude.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have more lighting.
We do have more
There's
lighting.
points. Mackenzie, you gotta answer.
It's a great question.
Thank you.
I don't like any of these. So that's why it's a great question. I mean, yeah, Brody's kind of lame.
Right?
Brody's pretty lame. Probably kill.
Yeah.
I think Marion Hoopa
Yeah.
could be fun.
He's
I feel
smart.
like you kill Brody, marry Hooper. You
Yeah,
fuck
fuck
and you
Fuck
fuck
Quint.
Quint,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
And then in 6 months, when we play that Scar game again, I'll have one from my night with Quint. I'll say right here, best night of my life.
He had lifeless eyes.
I hope not. Like a doll's eyes.
Well, they roll back when he bites. He gives you a star.
I forget how long this on the boat stuff goes on for. I forget that Cooper has to get in the cage and go down.
I think that's why the movie feels so long. Like we were talking about earlier, where we're like, hey, I thought it was 3 hours and it's not. But I think that's why it feels so long, because the
You
boat
think like,
part
oh,
is
they're
so
getting on the
long.
boat. This is the climax.
Yeah.
But there's still like
But
almost
it's
an hour of film
so
after
long.
that.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like Avengers Endgame, when I'm trying not to spoil things, but when it's clear this is the final battle, like this is the
I
standoff,
think
there's like 40 minutes of film still left after that shit. Like,
I think there's 2 people who haven't seen the end of
I
that
was gonna
movie.
say,
You know,
I think it's safe to
well, I don't want to.
spoil
No, I
Avengers.
don't want to spoil it.
No?
Things get avenged. That's all I'll say. That ruins.
some avenging happens. No
Yeah.
big deal. Yeah. I think
But yeah,
most people have
usually
seen
like
it,
if
but
I
yes.
come across that on TV, like when I visit my parents, they have cable. If I come across that and it's near that part, I will just stick around for that entirety of that film. And it's like you end up being up for an extra hour watching TV when you didn't really need to be watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie, did you read the semi-fun fact about this stuff in the cage?
Why is it semi-fun?
I don't know.
Well, it's interesting, but apparently they didn't when he goes underwater here, Hooper, it's not him in the cage. Instead, they hired a 4'11" actor to put down there, and it's actually this is the only part that has real sharks.
Yeah.
Like they shot this and it's like actual sharks swimming around the cage, but they were like, well, we need to make it look like the shark is much bigger than this guy, so they hired a really short actor, you know. And I'm saying that as a 5'4" person, so this person was 4'11", but yeah, that's why.
That is a fun fact.
Not only like a little fun, but really fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's actually fun.
Yeah,
I'm
and if
happy
they kept trying to get sharks to attack the cage to make it more dramatic. Well, I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they're just calling them nasty names. I don't know. But
Attack us. They were probably whistling, let's be honest.
underwater.
Whistle.
Bite me, you won't.
But so, like, apparently they couldn't get the shark to do it. But what happened was one shark eventually just got tangled in, like, the thing by accident. And
Yeah.
they used that footage in the film to be like, look, he's attacking.
Which,
It's
like,
actually some poor shark. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying.
I'm just trying to get home.
I just want to
It's
go
been a long
home,
day.
and you just
Yeah.
keep engaging me.
That's the real shark.
The undershot?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh,
Fireworks.
big firework. Ooh.
It's going to make for a very
All right,
dramatic
guys,
ending
welcome
to
to the pod.
Yeah.
We're catching sharks, and we are shooting fireworks. Oh.
This one.
Yeah, get my needle ready.
Oh, look at that harpoon needle. Yikes. Hate it. I hate this. I know this shark is bad, but I'm still not
That's
about
a
this.
bad
That's
shot.
A bad one.
Yeah.
Woof.
I like it.
And there goes his...
There goes your harpoon. Rough life.
Yeah, those are the real sharks.
That is a real one. It moves like a real shark.
And it's got the little.
I hope they didn't like bait them or do anything bad to get them to engage, you know? Also, that's quite a wide hole there on that shark cage.
For that single impact, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, enough that they could get in there and bite you, for sure. That is a giant shark.
Yeah.
See, that's not real. Like, that is so big. A very vengeful shark. Again, punch it in the nose.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
supposed
Isn't that
to
the
punch
answer
it
with
in the
most
nose.
animals? Like, punch them in the nose or go for the
Well,
eyes?
I hate to say this and admit this live on the pod, but I had to do that to the Rottweiler that bit me.
The one that... Because
Yeah,
it had you on the arm?
I had to punch him in the nose.
Because they lock down and they
They
won't
will
let
lock
go.
down a little, and he was just scared, and it was fine, and he was fine, but like I had to. Yeah.
Now it feels like the 4th of July.
Yeah, it sure does. 4th of July pod coming in hot.
And then Hooper just swims down to the bottom of the ocean and hangs out for the rest of the movie. Like a coward. I'm finished helping.
I'm all done. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Also,
the poor
just-
shark that's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm stuck.
So sorry.
I'm embarrassed.
I just want to go.
Also, the ship was actually sinking, by the way, if you didn't realize this during production. The actual ship during production was sinking. And they ended up having to call for the safety boats to come in and save the actors. And they were recording the film, and the film actually got submerged in the water. And they thought it was ruined. But until they realized that production solution to develop the film is actually saline. So they ended up sending it to a film lab in New York and being like, please try to salvage this. And they actually salvaged all the film.
I wonder what they would have done if they couldn't do that.
They would have to reshoot the whole
reshoot,
thing.
and then it would have come out in
And
fucking October.
Exactly,
instead of-
October. But and it was funny because the sound guy had one of like some of the recording equipment and he held it up and yelled and he was like, "Fuck the actors, save the sound equipment."
This is
that's some
that's
bullshit. You know what I mean? That's some bad.
The shark just yeets itself onto the ship.
Yeah.
Well, sharks can eat.
They can
Yeah.
eat.
You've
They
never
can
seen
eat.
those videos? They'll like swim super fast and like.
It's more the jaw motion for me in this that's
Yeah.
kind of some nonsense. You know what I mean? That you're like, that is some bullshit. How he would just gnaw at it. Also, they're like holding him and freaking out, like it's gonna get Quint. But he was a mile away a second ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He'll be okay. He'll be okay. It's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
Even like, I mean, I don't know if
Oof.
it's scientifically accurate, but just
Yikes.
the hinge on the jaw of the shark looks very smart.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's how they're built.
Okay.
With a literal
Well,
hinge on the outside of their mouths.
Bye, Quint.
Bye, Quinn. Thanks for the songs.
Thanks for the song.
I would say we hardly knew you, but I think we knew him
I
pretty
feel
well.
we knew him deeply.
He loved the bottle.
We knew him deeply. Yep. Oh,
There's still somebody alive in here. I know it. I'm a shark.
I know. This shark is so vengeful. And he already ate him? Like, you're not done? You're done already?
Right.
You're like, you've got to come back?
He's hungry again.
This is unrealistic.
Got a high metabolism.
I heard you
I
talking
like
all that shit on the beach,
That's right.
trying to close down my food supply. They
I
should have
feel-
just gone full, like, balls to the wall ridiculous if they ever made, like, a Jaws 5 and be like, the mayor and the shark were working together. Like, it was like
Oh,
a
yeah,
mafia
yeah.
type thing. Yeah.
It was a conspiracy
Yep.
all along.
This goes all the way to the top.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to infer that the sequels to Jaws don't go ridiculous.
No, even more so.
Even more so.
Oh, he's coming back, Brody. He's coming back.
Oh, okay.
It's burger time, y'all.
Burger time. We pause?
No, we can. It's what, like 3 minutes left.
Well, that's what you say. He hasn't even said smile, you son of a bitch yet.
He's, for as silly as the shark looks in this entire sequence, the entire boat slowly sinking, the angle it takes,
Mhm.
the way that they like probably storyboarded this is really fucking cool.
Woof. The stabby. See, this is the part I don't love. I don't love this. I know it's a fake shark, which helps, but shit, man. The shark murder is not my vibe.
It's him or the shark. What do you want him to do?
I want the shark to win.
Eat me.
I'm pro shark winning, actually. Thank you.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's just chomping on that air tank.
I feel like the fireworks are timing this
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
accordingly,
Very-
you know? They're coming in hot at the right time.
Maybe.
Oh,
Smile,
there
you
it
son of
is.
Oh, got him.
But we can't say bitch because it's rated PG. So
But we can.
smile, you son of
We
a.
can, because our pod is rated R, for sure.
True.
Have we considered that the shark is just teething?
Oh, yes,
it's
it's
just a
true. Teething is
baby?
quite miserable, to be
Yeah,
honest.
He's cranky.
He's cranky.
He
He's not
wants to
happy.
chew on shit.
I get it. I get it. He's like, what do you want from me? Life is hard. My teeth hurt.
Even that gas tank, he was like, I'm just going to chomp on it.
Get some cheers in the distance for the
Yes.
firework finale. I think.
Look how satisfied he looks, though.
I did it.
You know, he's like, I fucking did it.
Yeah.
And here comes. Oh, I'm sorry. Did the shark
Fireworks
explode?
are
What did I
whistling
miss?
to attract more sharks, by the way. Thanks for that,
Get out of the
fireworks.
water.
Yeah, let's get out of the water. We're gonna be under attack any minute now.
Yeah. Hooper conveniently sees the shark exploded in half, sinking into the bottom of the ocean. Is like, I guess I'll come up now. Can I help? Oh,
Is there something I should be doing, or
we did it, buddy. We did it.
We did it. I love. Can we talk about how they're laughing and Quinn's
And,
like
no
super
one's like,
dead,
"Where's Quinn?"
super dead? Like they're just like, yeah, we're fucking done. Oh, Quinn, that's right. Now we don't have to pay him, so we're good.
Also, there's other sharks in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like
We learned that
that's
in
a
the
lot of
sequels.
blood.
There is
and
a
they're
lot of blood.
out for
Exactly.
revenge.
Like you were in the water.
We're still in the ocean.
This shark has a mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what day is this?
It's Christmas.
It's Wednesday.
It was supposed to be Christmas.
It was supposed to be Christmas.
This and Die Hard, my two favorite Christmas movies.
Keep kicking. Oh, this was like me to you earlier. Kick, kick, kick.
Kick,
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 kick.
kick.
I used to hate the water.
I can't imagine why.
I love how films just kind of end.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I just want a round of applause for the first live pod. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
The
first and
fireworks
potentially last live.
The
pod.
fireworks are taking us home. All right, kids. Well, thanks for joining us and listening to us really talk about everything along to this movie.
Yeah.
And for hopefully you're having a beautiful, wonderful fourth. I'm sorry, beautiful, wonderful fourth.
What's the holiday called?
What's it called?
5th of July.
I'm thinking 5th of November right now. You know what I mean? Like mentally. But anyway, Cinco de July, whatever it is. Anyway, the 4th.
Do we know what movie we're doing next week?
We are doing Wet Hot American Summer.
Wet
next
Hot
week.
American
Yeah,
Summer,
so
keeping with the July theme.
we are. So anyway, for now though, go have a drink and watch a thing. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Clink, 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 clink.
Clink, clink,
Cheers.
clink.
Fireworks.
Clink,
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.